Oh no! We suck again!
Let's get ready to rumble!
Boom. This is Alfred, aka Nick, Shank Club NFL, just after 2:30 UK time on a Saturday, just after 9:30 Eastern. If you're on the West Coast, work it out yourself. You already know the time. Welcome along. Got week 11 games we're going to be discussing today. Unfortunately, my usual co-host Carl couldn't make it today. He texted me earlier, said he couldn't make it. So I put up the bat signal, and my guy Paul has jumped in as co-host. Paul, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, mate. All good. Looking forward to talking all things NFL with yourself.
Definitely. We've got a lot to get to. We've got our game picks to do, which is going to be coming up a little bit later. Got some other guests joining. Ryan, Tony from Nothing But Niners is going to come on, and a few others I've invited, so hopefully they can make it. Freddie apparently is watching Plymouth. Sad man. I don't know what else I can say about that, but there you go. If this is your first time watching this show, please hit that like and subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when we're going live, even though we always go live on a Wednesday afternoon in America and a Wednesday morning on a Saturday. It still helps the channel out. So please hit that like and subscribe button. You'll be doing me a favor and doing the channel a favor. And everyone likes to do people's favors. But enough of that. Have you rewatched the 49ers versus the Rams game, Paul? And if you have, what did you think?
The what game, mate? Was there a 49ers game last week?
I believe there was a 49ers game, and I believe that I said that they were going to win by 10. But I need to go back and watch the other show from last Saturday just to remember if that's actually what I said. But yeah, there was a game, Monday Night Football, I believe, and it was the same sorry-ass Rams versus the 49ers, possibly.
Yes, I have watched the game back many times, probably like most other 49er fans this year. The game in 40 on Game Pass hasn't been pretty this season, mate. So, yeah, I've definitely watched it a few times. It gets better every time. We talked on Wednesday night about the first drive, and watching it, it's just poetry in motion. I don't know about yourself, but when you know the result of the game, and you re-watch it back when you're preparing for shows like yourself or the podcast that we all do, sometimes in a victory, you can think, did it really look that good when I was watching it? But yes, it really did. So I have watched it back. I'm still impressed with our boy Jimmy. We've both been showing him the love on Twitter this week, and I took a bit of stick after you retweeted my tweet. Thanks for that, mate.
Listen, I take enough shit on Twitter. I need to share the Twitter love around, as you know. He's a very polarizing character, is Jimmy. You either love him or you hate him. There's no in between, because even after the victory, he only threw X amount of times. He didn't do this, he didn't do that. And the only thing I can put it when people slate him, and they are always going to. I mean, let's be honest. I will kind of be relieved if he isn't with the team next year, because that way Twitter might be a bit calmer. But if Trey steps in next year and things don't go according to plan, are we then going to have another fire Kyle, fire John? They got the wrong quarterback. They did this, they did that. We've still got people talking about Matt Jones, and it's just I should expect it. And I think, you know, if you've been a fan of this team like I have for a few years, you know, just Twitter becomes toxic for no reason. Just celebrate the win. We won, whether we ran it 44 times, we ran it 20 times. Jimmy only passed for 2 attempts. That 4th and 6 to Debo, forget about it. That was money. 100% money. And people still, it was a bit behind him. It was this, it was that. And it just gets sickening in the end. I really shouldn't let it get to me, but it does. And I end up getting more and more frustrated with it all.
There was a nice breakdown I mentioned in the show the other night. There's 2 lads, I think, the talk when they put the camera on and they break the play down, and then they use that playmate with Jimmy. And like you said, for every 49er fan, I don't know how anyone can criticise that. He stood in the pocket. He's put that ball right where Debo's caught it. And it's the Kyle Shanahan that we love. He nailed his balls to the desk with that play. A few weeks ago, we wouldn't have been going for that in that position. We'd have been either looking for a field goal or looking to run the ball and then possibly a punt. And when that one ran it to the house with Debo, I mean, he only needs 20 yards on Sunday, Debo, to become our first 1,000-yard rusher since Bolden in 2014. And when you look at what Kyle's done with Debo, I seen something on Twitter which called Kyle the world champion hide and seek because of the way he moved Debo around and how he took Jalen Ramsey out the occasion. Is someone else about to join us, mate?
He was, but his McDonald's Wi-Fi stroke 5G has let him down again, so I'll have to take him out. Ryan does enjoy teasing us with his presence until he gets onto a stable connection. But literally, he was in the background for a good minute and it was fine. And then I go to bring him in and he's... So
I did have that heart attack myself the other night, to be fair. First time coming on, I thought I had all the gear set up and then you guys were just buffering and I was like, oh, this is a nightmare for first time on.
It's I mean, I'm using my cellular Wi-Fi through my phone, because my internet connection out in this garage is ridiculous. It'll be brilliant and then it will just die and then it'll be all right. And then he's unfrozen. Hang on, let's see. Oh, no, he's flopped off again. Terrible, 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 terrible. Right, let's have a look at the latest news. Let me just get the old app up. Oh, dear. Amari Cooper. Latest news is going to miss 2 games because he's gone on the reserve COVID list. Now, I'm pretty careful. I'll say I'm sure the same as you are when you're out and about. And how are all these people contracting COVID? Is it basics that they're not wearing masks? Is it because obviously it doesn't give any details or any context, but you know, this thing's been around long enough now. Surely people are realizing what they should be doing, whether you're an NFL star, whether you're Joe Soap like me and you, as to what you should do to try and minimize the risks. I don't get it.
I think it's a strange one. I mean, we say that there. My missus works in a school. We've got 3 kids, 3 different schools. Like you said there, you try and minimize the risk, don't you? Masks when you're out, sanitize your hands. Funnily enough, we went to Alton Towers in the summer, mate, and you would have thought COVID wasn't a thing. It was ridiculous. I was just shocked whether the vaccines have given people a false sense of security, or, you know, whether it's been in that long now. You know, people are taking. It just doesn't seem to be going away, does it? And like you said, Dad, I knew that news because Coop was in my fantasy team. So it flashed up on my phone this morning and I was like, oh, Coop was out. I'm going to have to look for someone else now. And I just don't know.
I think I can only obviously speak in this country because obviously America's been either behind or in front, whichever way it is. I've just read as well that Amari Cooper isn't vaccinated. Not that that stops you from getting it, but it minimises, obviously, catching it full blown, whatever. And that's up to him. He's not vaccinated. That's his choice, blah, blah, blah. But I agree with you. When the government, and I'm not bashing the government because, again, I'm not going to be political, but I think whoever was in power, nobody would have got this shit because it's fucked up. It's only, you know, it's no worse than the flu and this, that, and the other. Well, yeah, actually, it probably is. But I agree with you. When you saw when they said, right, masks aren't mandatory, you can, you know, you can be inside, there's no social all that game, it all changed because everyone then all of a sudden went back to normal, right? And there was no, were we in a pan? Oh, I can't remember. But anyway, I'm just going to act as normal. And I agree with you. I mean, I still wear a mask when I go in the supermarket or a shop or anything like that. And again, that's my personal choice. But I don't see why people still think that we're out of it. Because we're not out of it. The cases are still rising in the UK, right? It's not as if all of a sudden it's all gone away. And that's the thing. Yes, I know it's been hard on a lot of people that were properly locked down. I mean, my mum, bless her, she's 87 and she didn't go out for a walk for nearly a year. She hasn't been to church, or she hasn't been back to church even, because she doesn't want to be, you know, in that kind of environment, even if it is socially distanced. You know, and people like her and other act like nothing's happened. And I don't, for the life of me, mate, I don't understand it, how people can just pretend that nothing's happened and they're just going to go back to how it was pre-March 18 months ago. It's weird.
See, I mean, another strange thing is I was 40 last year. So I planned, you know, a holiday away with the missus, got to Paris, COVID hit, thought we're not going to get to go. And then we went, it was in August. And we came back the day when they brought the quarantine ban into England. So we got back like 24 hours before you had to self-isolate and all the rest of it. And coming back into the country was really strange because to get into France, you know, lateral flow, temperature checks, everywhere in France, they were enforcing the masks and all the rest of it. But coming back into England, just got off the plane, no one was bothered. Like, walk through the gate and it was like, hello, does anyone want to check my temperature and stuff? But it looks like we've been joined by someone else.
What's up, guys? You got me? You got me?
Hey! Look, he's a stable area for about 3 or 4 minutes. Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Nick. Hey, I'm driving my way to work. That's all I'm doing.
Good man. Good man. How's things over there with you? You good?
Me? Oh, we're fine. Yeah, we're doing good over here. Jersey's cold as hell. It's cold. It's going to get colder. It's going to get colder too.
Yeah, well, I'm going to rename my garage Jersey because it's just as cold in here as it is out there.
I got you.
Have you? Obviously, you've been in and out of the conversation. Putting aside the COVID thing. Have you rewatched the game that I did say, by the way, and not that I'm ever going to take any credit for it, that the Niners were going to win by 10 and they won by 21. Have you rewatched the game and what were your thoughts?
I actually rewatched the game at least 3 times to look at different things that we can improve on and what we missed. I tell you right now, we didn't miss a thing. The way I think, I saw everything, and the way we played, the defense was amazing. We should have played that against the friggin' Arizona Cardinals, which we didn't, because if it wasn't for those 2 fumbles from Kittle and I believe it was Debo, If it wasn't for those 2 fumbles, that's what swung the whole game advantage to the Cardinals. That was last week, of course. Or week
Definitely,
before. I'm sorry.
and it was night and day, right? Because
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
seemed to click. Let's just bring Dion. I've got my guy Dion here. Dion,
Gotcha.
what is up, brother? How are you?
All right. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning, Dion. Good morning. Yeah, we're just obviously touching on the Cardinals game, or well, we'll erase that game because it didn't happen. But the Rams game last week, obviously, if you didn't hear, because I don't know if you joined, I actually said the Niners were going to win by 10, but they actually won by 21.
Okay.
So, and I was the only one who would put that out there. So, I've got to brag. It won't happen again. I'll never be that right again. But I honestly thought it's bizarre. Like when we always play the Rams, a different team turns up, right? And everything clicked. Everything. We had interceptions. We had sacks. We still had the same holding on Bosa. I mean, the refs need to go to get some classes because it's ridiculous. But
put it like this: when somebody literally is being held like that, come on, man! Like you gotta know this is happening.
The reason why, and I've seen a lot, and I do kind of get this, right? They say because Bosa is so powerful and he doesn't make a meal of the fact that he's being choked or held or wrestled, he carries on powering through, and that's why the penalties aren't being called. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but
it partially is.
I do get that.
I can understand that because you got to look at it like this. In basketball, you get fouls because you act. You do more than is anticipated. You create the contact yourself. So if Nick Bosa, every time he got held, had his hands up and was flailing all over the place instead of still trying to get to the quarterback, quite possibly that could work. But at the end of the day, it's just honestly them being smart and saying, yo, this guy's being held. Like, I think his brother Joey, he actually complained about it, And, I remember Nick was saying, I think somebody asked him about it, and he looked and he was like, you're not going to get me fined. Like, I'm not doing this. I already know how this works.
There's no point saying anything, but it was interesting. And I'm sure when I watched the game live, at one point, he actually kind of complained to one of the refs that, that stuff was going on. But yeah, what did you think overall, Dion? Did you think it all of a sudden everything clicked, or Kyle was just being the daddy, or what were your overall opinions and thoughts on that game overall?
There's 2 factors that came into play. John York and Jimmy Ward. Those were the 2 factors that came into play. You got to remember at some point, even though this is probably not fair to say, it's the truth of it, and I stick to this all the time. These players are commodities, okay? You are a tradable commodity. Every person is like a walking stock. And at the end of the day, if your stock is performing like shit, you need to find a way to make sure people start reinvesting. And the way that you get people to reinvest in your stock in the NFL is to play better. The more you win, the more people show up. The less you win, the less people in the seats. So when there aren't any people in the seats, there's no fans in the stands. There's nobody buying the food that you cook. There's nobody buying the beer. There's nobody buying, the alcohol. There's nobody buying the merchandise, And if you're a billionaire, you want to keep making money. The rich stay rich by being very frugal. And when they start to see that their money is dwindling or their money's being messed with, they get on top of things. Perfect example. That's why the Washington football team is named the Washington football team, because their owner, Dan Snyder, for years did not want to give up that name Redskins. And when FedEx, the biggest supporter that he has, walked in the door and was like, you don't change that name, we're going to pull our support. Magically, they become the Washington football team because you played with this money. And then on the other end, Jimmy Ward, he said that I don't know if you guys remember, at the beginning of the season, before the season started, he said, if I've got to be an asshole, I'm going to be an asshole. I feel like he walked into that locker room, was an asshole, said everything that needed to be said behind closed doors, and people got on top of their shit, and things got fixed. The issue, and then the other thing is, we all completely neglected to remember Kyle always makes Sean his bitch. He's always little brother. I'm pretty sure at the end of the game, he walked up and gave him a hug. He said, hey, man, it's okay. No, don't cry. Don't go tell mom. I whooped your ass. It is what it is. Deal with it. And when I see you again later this year in your house, I'm going to kick your ass again. Remember who I am. Don't act like you don't know me.
That's the thing that, and I watched, because obviously you see the handshake at the end, and I would love to have had the microphone in there and
right there.
You got the lips, and then someone could lip sync over the top of it and basically said, "You're my bitch, motherfucker."
Look at Sean. Did you see Sean McVay's face? Did you see his face the whole game? He looked like he wanted to cry.
He did not like that. And
somebody stole his lunch money. I mean, and if you notice, I looked at the Rams post-game interview. No Aaron Donald. He was nowhere to be found. They was going to ask him again if he knew who Deebo Samuel was.
Yeah, but that was the thing, you see, because he was still trying to find Deebo Samuel, but unfortunately he couldn't get to him because Daniel Brunskill was still kicking his fucking ass.
That doesn't make no sense. How is Dan Brunskill having a hell of a time all season long, but he goes up against probably one of the best pass rushers in the NFL and shuts him down every single time? It always clicks for him. So for me,
that may be the only time you don't hear his name called. Even Tom Compton, a man that gets a concussion in the fucking locker room. All of them were on point. And I honestly, I mean, bravado, I did say, yeah, we'll win by 10. I knew we would win, but we just dominated them. Absolutely stole their soul. Aaron Donald, Von Miller getting his ass handed to him by Jordan. I mean, it was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, all around awesome performance, all around.
And those, and you know, and I know it was an anomaly, Matt Stafford, that game, but last week he wasn't very good, right? And this week, again, he did show some of his flaws. And admittedly, the pick six wasn't Stafford's fault. It was obviously the receiver more than Stafford. Yeah. But, hang on, I've just got to pop someone else in. The one, the man, the legend, the GM of the Nothing But Niners.
Oh, there we go.
Today either. Look at that.
Funny. Look at that beard, man. I love that beard, brother.
It's No Shave November. No Shave
November. I love that beard, man. I love it.
At my job, we do $100 to participate. 50 go to unfortunate kids, and 50 goes to a cancer patient. So
that's awesome.
That's what this is.
But you obviously,
I like the beard though, man. I like it.
You shave your head, you just don't shave your beard. I like it, Tony.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, No Shave November is the face. It looks like wifey's in the background.
Look,
morning.
Photo bombs.
Morning, Mrs. Tony.
Hello, Mrs. Tony from the UK. How are you?
Hi.
Say hi.
I said hi.
No, you're on mute.
Hi. Hello, good morning.
Just give me 1 second, Nick. I just doing some situating here.
Yeah, no, that's cool. You carry on. I'll bring you back in. Do you want me to take you off and bring you back in? No, okay. So.
Oh no, he's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was dominating, and it was just a beat down. It was I think the other thing I thought that was they must be humiliated by that as a team. And everyone said last week they were going to be upset and pissed off, and they were going to come back and they were going to ram it down the 49ers' throat. And they didn't. Honestly, it was like big brother, little brother, and little brother was put in his place again, and he didn't like it. And to me, that was hilarious. Got a comment here. Let's just bring it up from my guy, Carly. Brunskill has good games versus Aaron Donald because Kyle schemes around him. Quick passing game and run at Aaron Donald, which we did. Debo ran right through one of his arm tackles. Interesting point, Carly, definitely. And yeah, it's one of those games that I wouldn't watch the whole 3 hours again, as amazing as it was, but I could probably watch that game as many times as I've watched the Saints game when George Kittle took 4 people for a ride and got that face mask thing, because it was just an amazing game. Or the catch 3 game with New Orleans. It's just one of them ones you can watch over and over again. And I just loved it. I just hope we don't lay an egg this week against Jacksonville. That's my biggest fear. And I'm not talking about Jimmy or making a mess of it or Trey Sermon not running the ball or whoever. You know, the team now has got an impetus and it's got some flow, and we need to keep that going. We need to, and we did keep our foot on the throat and we throttled them. And I really enjoy that, Tony. What were you surprised just how one-sided the game was, and how? Because obviously I saw that you predicted a win, and you were the only one on the Nothing But Niners that was 100% sure we were going to win.
Yeah, I had a feeling because of what's going on, like with the media with Kyle, fire Kyle, and them not winning a game in 300 and I think it's 93 days at Levi Stadium. I just had a feeling that this was going to be a statement game for Kyle. Listen, McVay learned everything under Kyle. So that tells me Kyle knows everything. Kyle's one step ahead of McVay. It's just out of nature because he's the student and he's the teacher. So my thing is, I definitely knew that I knew they were going to beat them. Because I think, honestly, Kyle had enough of this shit with the media. Fire me, fire. He sucks. He's overrated. And this was the game that they were going to do it. And how he came out and did it, he totally kept that defense off balance 100%. He attacked. He used the aggression of the defense against them. Okay? He got very creative with the use of Debo by lining him up in the backfield and not allowing Jalen Ramsey to get his hands on him or cover him straight up. So with that being said, I think all the comments of fire Kyle need to disappear now because that was a masterpiece. Now, by running the ball the 40 times like he said he was and actually did, that allowed Jimmy to stay and play within the system, within the script. The minute Jimmy goes, and I've said this on Nothing But Niners so many damn times, the minute you make Jimmy throw that ball more than 28 to 30 times, they lose. You can't make Jimmy become a one-dimensional quarterback and have him throw the ball all around the field and expect him to win. His best traits are within 20 and 25 attempts, in my opinion. Because that means the offense is balanced. The attack is balanced. So the interesting fact in this game is going up against Jacksonville, who does have a pretty solid run defense, even though teams, it could be a little bit of a false stat because their secondary is not good. And teams are attacking their secondary, so they're not running as much. So therefore, yards aren't being put up against this defense in their rush attack. So that scares me because I honestly think Jacksonville's going to come out and put 6 men in the box and force Jimmy to throw the ball. And that's where it could get a little hairy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Just quickly, Carly's birthday is tomorrow, and he needs the 49ers to win. So 2 things. Happy birthday for tomorrow, mailman.
Happy birthday, Callie. Early, sorry.
Yeah, happy early birthday, Callie. I'll still get you on Twitter, man, and throw your birthday shout out there. So happy birthday to you, brother.
Let's hope the Niners can get that win for his birthday tomorrow.
Looks like we've lost Nick there. He is frozen,
God.
as you can see. Oh, there he is.
He's back. He's back.
He's back.
Let's try again. Even
Nick, you
my
just got
bloody
caught with your
iPhone
mouth open
cuts
for
off
3
my
seconds.
internet.
Right? You sure did.
I was in mid-flow. Carly, happy birthday early for tomorrow. And I am going to say Niners by 10.
Niners by 10. Interesting.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I played Madden twice against the Jaguars. And let me tell you something. I broke them off both times. And I played it on, competitive. I did everything. And the thing is the first time I played them, I beat them 45-7. The next time I played them, I beat them 31-11. I tell you this, the way to beat the Jags is the same way we beat the Rams. TOP and run the ball. Be honest with you, I'm more afraid of the Jaguars defense than I am of their offense. They're working, they're growing, but their offense is nothing compared to what we have. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not afraid of Laviska Shenault. First of all, when I hear his name, I think that should be in Tomb Raider or some shit, trying to find a piece to, the Illuminati or some crap. Like, his name is just ridiculously weird. Now the other little kid, that little running back, Agnew, the only thing I'm afraid of with him is I don't need him to get behind the defense, because if he does, goodbye. We don't have fast people on our team to be able to keep up with him. So we know Fungus not doing that. And Jimmy Ward's got a little bit of speed, but he ain't got that kind of speed. That kid put on the afterburners last week.
Who was that?
So Agnew, he was a little running back for him. So they've been mixing in James Robinson. Robinson's supposed to be their main back, but they started Carlos Hyde the past couple of weeks. And it's different. So I would say, hey, man, I'm just telling the truth. But Agnew came in for one play, man, and he took it up the sideline and just blew past everyone. And he said he was the fastest player on their team. Glad he didn't say in the NFL, because I have to check people when they do that. That's Raheem Mostert, though he's not playing, 23.09 miles an hour. When someone beats that, they can start talking to me. Till then, you have nothing to say, because he's the fastest man in the NFL. And they still ain't put his Madden rating up on 99 on his speed. It's disrespectful.
The other thing, of course, you know why you did win, Dion, against Jacksonville, because unfortunately Urban Meyer was in some strip joint somewhere and he wasn't leading the team. It was just a cardboard cutout on the sideline. So there was no
he was there. He was there. He had a stripper next to him in the game.
That's there you go. So he was busy on the sideline, just not busy on doing what he should do.
He took his play sheet and just threw it, and as soon as he threw it, she thought that was money. So everybody was having fun. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, of course.
Yeah, I don't think Urban Meyer's going to be visiting any houses of ill repute after Sunday. As I said, I think Niners by 10. But we're going to get into game picks very, very shortly. A couple of other things to go through quickly. The Bears have put Khalil Mack
on IR.
IR, season-ending surgery. I think that kind of sums their season up, really. Urban was getting lap dances. Very probably, Carly, very probably. A lot of people have said as well that the Jacksonville game is a revenge game for, and I can't even remember, Carlos Hyde revenge game. Carlos Hyde.
Oh, don't forget CJ Beathard is there too.
Yeah. Well, I somehow don't think we're even going to see either of those two making a prominent thing on that. I think that's it with the news, etc. Shall we pick some games? Because we haven't picked any games for a while. So,
of course,
let's pick some games. And of course, if you are the only person that picks that team, you have to lone wolf. Now, Last time John V was on, and he is going to try and come on, John V. He sounded like a wounded dog. I don't know about like a lone wolf. So let's go. Let's start with the 5-4 Saints versus the 4-6 Eagles. Paul, what do you think is going to happen in this one?
I think the Saints will win that one. Two bad teams in my opinion, but I'll stick my neck out first of all and say the Saints. But I'm not giving you a score.
No, we don't need scores because scores is too. We like to freestyle it, so we'll just take wins and losses. That's fine. Dion,
New Orleans.
Saints.
Yeah, Saints.
Saints. New
Morning,
subscriber
Tanya.
alert. Tanya, thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. I know overnight you watched our 2 interviews with Jesse Sapolo. In the first one, you would have seen Dion being quiet, which doesn't happen very often. But when he was in the shadow of greatness, even Tony, if I remember rightly, was dumbstruck, which is always good because it's. I just talk bullshit. I don't care. So yes, Tanya, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Tony, Saints Eagles.
Where's it being played?
It is at the Eagles.
Do you have the line or no?
Unfortunately, I'm not a gambling man, and I don't have any gambling apps, and I don't understand that anyway. But I can find it. Hang on.
Because I think I would take the Eagles with the points, but a straight up win, I'd take the Saints because Kamara's not playing.
Let's have a
And
look.
I think
I think he's out for a couple of games.
I think they're hiding something big with Kamara, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree, Tony. I do. I feel like something more has happened rather than what they have.
Yeah,
but I mean, that just tells you in fantasy, pick up Mark Ingram. You know,
yeah,
he'll be a good fantasy pickup. He'll get you a couple of good points. You know,
right. Hopefully, I'm reading this correctly. You've got the New Orleans Saints at +2.5 and the Eagles at -2.5. And the over-under is 42.5.
Wait a second. The Eagles are home favorites. Yeah, that's you get 3 points for being home.
Yeah, they're -2.5.
Oof. Yeah, you got. I don't know, man. I'll go with the Saints.
Ryan? Oh, little kiss on the cheek there. Do you see that live kiss?
Sorry for that, guys. Sorry for that. Sorry. Yeah. First of all, Tony from NBN, I have so pleasure seeing you on here. Thank you very much for coming on, man. Great pleasure.
Don't mention it, man. It's fine. I love Nick.
I watch you all the time. I watch you all the time on NBN. I do, man. You're a cool dude. Put it that way.
Thanks. I appreciate it, buddy.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
No problem, man. I'm surprised everybody didn't go for the Eagles. How surprised about that. I'm surprised everybody went for some Saints. I couldn't believe that. But I got Saints because Nick, you know I don't go for the Eagles. So I got Saints.
This is a weird one for me because the Saints are up and down. So are the Eagles. I'm going to go with the Eagles at home.
Whoa.
Lone wolfing it there, buddy.
There we go.
Going with the Eagles. Hang on a minute. Let's clear my throat. There you go. That's how you lone wolf. Not like Dion the other week. Not Dion, sorry. JV the other week. Sounding like a wounded dog. Okay.
Man, take your ass back to the back cave, bro. I'm joking.
I'm in the back cave. Talking of shit fests, Dolphins, Jets. Tony, you are in New Jersey. Obviously, home of the Jets and the Giants. We love Robert Saleh. It's not worked out this year for him. I think this is obviously a steep learning curve for the guy. Dolphins, Jets, Tony, who you got?
Ooh. Something's telling me to take the Jets. It's a division game. They're home. Flacco's playing, so you have a veteran playing. I'm going to go with the Jets.
Just to give you the handicap, Dolphins -3.5, New York Jets +3.5, and the over or under is 44.5. Ryan, what do you think?
I'm sorry, I couldn't get you. What'd you say?
Jets,
I'm sorry.
Dolphins.
I got Dolphins. I go over Jets.
Dion?
Dolphins. Got the Fins.
Paul?
Yeah, Dolphins for me. I just can't pick the Jets. I'm sorry. If Mike White was playing, possibly, but I can't get behind Flacco.
Mike, flash in a pan White. He was seeing more than ghosts. He was seeing more ghosts than Scooby-Doo last week. That was crazy. Now, it's interesting because I was on YouTube earlier, and I know there's some history between the Dolphins and the Jets, and I think it was 86 when there was the famous overtime win, Ken O'Brien to Wesley Walker, and it was something like 51-50 or something ridiculous, and that was a crazy game. I don't trust Tua. Do I trust Flacco enough? Yeah, I'm going to go the Jets. Jets, Jets. Is that another lone wolf? It is, isn't it?
No.
Oh, it isn't. Oh no, Tony. Oh, thank God for that, because I'm old.
I'm with you.
Bring up Panama Queen's comment there. It's good for the playoffs here. She's got the smartest thing. She says she got the Eagles. We need the Saints, Vikings, and Panthers to lose. It's very much true because the NFC South has a stranglehold on the other two spots outside of the Rams for the final spots of the playoffs. Makes a good point.
Yeah.
How bad were the Falcons on Thursday night?
Hey, all I can say is I know Carl is not throwing any footballs at the couch anymore.
Not anymore, bless him.
No, man.
That team's a mess.
I said it on Wednesday. I think Matt Ryan is going to fall into the category of Dan Marino as one of the best QBs never to win a Super Bowl, and it's such a shame. And he is over that hill, and he's on the downward trend now. But yeah, I mean, Matty Ice, it saddens me that.
No, don't say that name. He's no longer Matty Ice. He don't do Matty Ice things. You get monikers and nicknames when you do stuff. Okay.
Oh, so he's Matty Frozen or Matty Thawed now.
Yes, and he's trying to let go of the ball, but it just won't happen.
It is a shame, and right, next game, the WTF versus Cam Newton, because apparently it's all about Cam Newton now. Paul,
I'll go for Washington purely because they beat the Buccaneers last week, and I'm not aboard the Cam Newton hype train. I'm afraid I'm not on board that at all.
Dion,
I'm gonna be 100% realistic here, man. I'm sorry. When you get momentum and you get a hype train, you ride that joint to the sunset. Unfortunately, the Panthers win.
Tony.
Where's it being played?
At the Pandas Stadium.
I think Carolina's wins.
You just pull up the odds. Let's have a look. Where are we? So many games. I can't bloody find it. Where is it? I don't know. I can't find it. Okay. Ryan.
What game is this one? Panthers and who?
Washington.
Panthers and
Washington.
Washington.
I'm gonna go for the Panthers, but I don't care about the upset, because if Washington beats Carolina and we win, we go to the 7th seed. So we're hunting for that wild card.
Yeah,
So I'll take the loss.
The handicap is Washington +3, Carolina's
Yeah.
obviously -3 because they're at home, and the over/under is 43.
For Carolina, but I'll take the loss though.
Like a lot of people, I want Washington to win purely because of the wild card implications, obviously within our division. I again don't buy the "I'm back." I don't buy it, but I can't see the WTF with Chase Young being out. So unfortunately, I've got to go for the Panthers. Unfortunately, but it is through gritted teeth. So Paul, did you pick the WTF?
Yeah, looks like I'm having to
Looks
embarrass
like you're
myself
gonna have
in
to
front
lone
of
wolf it,
49er
my
Royalty
boy.
Anna. I'm going to
Get
have to
on that
lone wolf
lone
it.
wolf.
So what is it? Oh, pathetic, but there you go.
Yeah, I think you and JV are now in for the most pathetic lone wolf ever, but we'll take it. Logan is on the road down to Jacksonville, going to support the Niners tomorrow. Logan, glad you're in. Stay safe, my brother, and safe trip. Glad you could join us. Next game. All these screens open on my phone. Mind you, it's an iPhone, Mike, if you're watching, so at least I can switch between the screens because I know you have trouble with Android, but that's another story. Colts.
Hey, don't you slander androids. Okay.
Oh, you are an
slandering.
Android.
I'm an Android guy. Don't you slander us. I don't have any problems. Galaxy S21, buddy. Very good phone.
I wouldn't know because apparently I'm brainwashed because I'm iPhone. But that's another
This is
story.
true. This is true.
Colts versus the Bills, Tony. Who you got?
I think Buffalo. I'll go Buffalo.
Ryan?
Later on. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry. Try and go back home real quick as I can. What game is this one? I'm sorry.
This is Indianapolis at the Buffalo Bills. The handicap is Indianapolis +7, Bills -7, over under 49.5.
I got Bills. I'll go for Bills.
Dion?
Buffalo.
Paul?
Yeah, Bills all day for me in this one.
Definitely. I think it's a clean, definitely a clean sweep for the Bills. Now, the Lions actually last week didn't lose a game. How they didn't beat that shitty ass Mason Rudolph led Pittsburgh Pretenders, I'll never know. And that kicker, I mean, I thought I saw a bad kick when we had that filling kicker against Seattle, and someone in the tunnel on the left-hand side almost got killed because it was that far left. But that kick to win it in overtime was pathetic. And Carly obviously is an iPhone guy because he said Dion and Mike with those Android devices.
Oh, I know Callie's an iPhone guy, man. We went back and forth in the chat over that. Look, man, I stay with Droid because a Droid to me is freedom. An iPhone, you do what Apple tells you to do. Okay, that's just how I feel. It's always been that way. When they want to update the phone, they want to update the damn phone. You don't tell them no. They just do it, and you just get stuck with it. Apple controls things. Android is freedom. Look at it like this. If you have an iPad and your iPad is 32 gigabytes, you can't put expandable memory in that. You got to buy the bigger one. My wife is sleeping right now. She doesn't know, but for Christmas, she wanted a tablet. I bought her an Android tablet. I have expandable memory up to 1 terabyte. Don't work like that with iPad, does it? got to buy that overly expensive ass tablet that cost you $1,500, $1,600, $1,700, $1,800. My tablet didn't cost me that much. Neither
That's a
did the
divorce
expandable
by
memory.
about 10 o'clock Christmas morning, Dion. She's going to kick your ass, brother. Lions Brown. Now, I think we can all agree that last week was it I can't even say it. Was it a shock?
Anomaly.
That's the one.
An anomaly.
Was it a shock how bad they were against New England?
No.
Was anyone shocked that they came in and stunk the place up? Probably not. Very up and down. But I can't pick the Lions. I can't.
Mm-mm.
There's no way I can because they're a shit show. And I do feel sorry for their coach because obviously all that hype stuff he did, ankle, was it knee biting or whatever it was he said, and yeah, it's just not working for him. So I am going to go for the Browns. Paul, who have you got?
Yeah, the Browns. I don't think anyone in the UK will go with the Lions at the moment. And I believe, is Nick Chubb back this week for the Browns?
I believe he is.
A difference, but I can stick him back in my fantasy team. So yeah, I'm going for the Browns.
The bizarre thing is that Detroit, even with it was Matt Stafford the last 4 times. They've won 4 straight games versus Cleveland. So Cleveland must have been pretty damn awful if they let this team win. Dion, who you got?
I'm going with the Browns out of that. I'll say this. Next year, be afraid of the Lions. I honestly think this coach is getting through to his players, and I do believe that they are doing everything they can to play for him. Just the unfortunate situation is Jared Goff is your quarterback, and they have a horrible defense. So they're going to be building through the draft, but I do think that coach has got those guys on his side, and that does attract free agents. So if they can start building and putting some good pieces together, they'll start to work out. But they ain't going to work out this game. We're going to take the Browns.
The only problem is, of course, if they keep Jared Goff as their QB, that's going to limit who they get there. I feel sorry for Jared Goff, and I know he was obviously drafted really high, and I know it still makes me laugh to this day that people thought the Niners were going to take him, and then they traded out, and the Rams got him, and that's history. Tony, are you banking on these Lions, or are you going with the Brownies?
Listen, the Lions are going to have to win a game. They fight too hard. They play too hard. They're always in it. It's sad, but they just can't finish, and that's a big issue in the NFL. If you can't finish, you can't win. We've seen it with the Niners in a couple games, but I will say I'm going to go with the Browns in this one. Ryan,
are you lone wolfing, or are you going to go with the Browns?
I agree. Everything Tony just said, because Lions are a mess. And if Lions pull up the upset, I tell you right now, the Browns are going to be a laughingstock. I'm sorry to say, it's true. And Baker better be on his shit tomorrow. So basically, I got the Browns. Yeah, I got the Browns.
Talking of laughing stocks, the Titans aren't the laughing stock versus the Texans. It's at the Titans Nissan Stadium, or Nissan, as we call it in this country, or Nissan if you're in America. Is anybody picking the Titans to lose this one at home? No. That was a nice try at a fake, Paul, but even I knew you were trying to fake me out.
I've just been watching the Rams game today. I just have to see their fake little attempt. I thought I'd try one myself.
Oh, yeah, don't start me on that fake field goal. That was hilarious. Packers at Vikings. Now, this is getting a bit interesting because obviously Vikings flatter to deceive a lot. Dalvin Cook back. Packers doing what Packers do. Their defense seemed to have stepped up this year. I am going to say the Vikings win this one. I've just got a feeling. And it doesn't help the 49ers, obviously, in the wild card. But, yeah, I think the Vikings are going to go to 500 on this one. And I don't want to see it, but that's what I think. What do you think, Paul?
No, I'm on a different page too. I think it's going to be the Packers. I think the defense has stepped up, and as a 49er fan, I actually want the Packers to win this week because, like you said, it helps us with the wild card. And obviously, we play the Vikings next week, so I'm going to go for the Packers this week.
It's interesting as well that the handicappers has it at +1 for the Vikings and -1 for the Packers, and the over/under is 47.5. Dion, what do you think?
Pack.
Tone?
I'm going with the Packers because the Vikings need to lose if the 49ers expect to make a push.
Hang on a minute. I need to get my voice ready because I think I'm going to be lone wolf in this one again. Ryan?
Yeah, Nick, I think you will be lone wolf in this. I tell you right now, if we win this game this week and Vikings lose, I tell you right now, man, that 7th spot is calling for us. So right ahead, Nick, do your thing.
All I will say is, you like that? That was a little dog bark at the end. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ravens, Bears. Now, everyone is still waiting to see Justin Fields have a breakout game. The Ravens obviously coming off a bad game in their last game. Tony, Ravens, Bears.
Ravens.
Ryan?
I got the Bears.
Ooh. Dion?
Ravens. I don't see this being the game that Justin Fields has a standout performance against the Ravens defense.
Paul?
Yeah, I'm on the same page as Dion. I'm going the Ravens.
Somehow I think we are going to have a lone wolf in the car with Ryan because I am also going to go Ravens.
I guess everybody went for the other team, right?
Everyone went for the Ravens. You're the lone wolf, my man. I'm impressed with the glass in your car. It didn't shatter when you hit that high note. That's good. That's good. Bungles versus the Faders. Bengals. Never pick the Raiders. Ever, ever, ever am I ever picking the Raiders. Bungles. Paul?
Yeah, I can't sit with me picking the Raiders. I'm going for the Bengals on this one as well.
Dion?
Cincy.
Tony?
Oh God, I'll go with the Bengals.
All right, Tony.
He's doing that through
everybody
because he doesn't want a lone wolf.
He wants to pick the Raiders.
No,
He does.
just, I just they're playing better. They're playing a little better with this coach, you know. But I'll go with the Bengals. I think they're the better team, but I just feel I don't know. There's something about. Are they playing home? Who's playing?
The Faders are at home.
I love that stadium. I ain't gonna lie. I'll go with the Bengals.
See, I knew you couldn't do it, Tony. I just knew you couldn't pick the right. I just knew it. And that's gritted teeth that you're saying the Bungles. Ryan.
Don't worry, Tony. You're not alone. I'm going for Bengals too.
Clean sweep.
Clean
We
sweep.
like it. We like it. Now, when I mention these next two teams, I'm not even going to pick because everyone knows who I'm picking. And it's a divisional game. And it's the Cardinals versus Russie Wussy and the Seahawks. I'm not even going to, I don't need to pick. Paul.
I can't pick a Seahawks. Not that I would anyway, but I think the Cardinals are winning this one.
Dion.
Go ahead, kick me from the channel, man. Going with the Hawks.
Well, even with Russie Wussy being as bad as he was last week.
They're at home, man. That 12th man is real and it's serious. And I know the Cardinals usually can go up there and get them. But something about it says that Russie Wussy is going to be Russell Wilson this week. He don't like to lose.
That, and he set a tone because last week he made a big fuss of the fact that he was back and he got the pin out of his finger and let's go. But I don't know if you saw the pin that came out of his finger was an L. L for loser. Sorry, Russie Wussy. Kiss my ass. Tony.
Is Kyle Murray playing?
Game time decision. D-Hop's definitely out.
Oh. Damn, I didn't pay attention to that, but I'm gonna stick with him. Sticking with the Seahawks, yeah. Stick with the Seahawks. It's the better bet, Tony. I know what you're thinking, buddy. I know what you're thinking. And honestly, with no Kyler Murray, with no D-Hop, they're gonna go in there and get their asses handed to them, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. As much as I can't stand Russell Wilson and that whole hype video he made, grow up, dude. You're a freaking loser.
Hype video? What hype video?
The whole thing with him working out, throwing the football. Did you see him? They showed him. I think it was, matter of fact, the Niners game when it wasn't the Niners game. He was on the sideline and the camera panned on him while he was doing his pregame warm up. He was by himself. He gets on a knee like he's talking to people in the huddle. He's the only guy in the field.
Oh yeah. Oh, that, yeah.
Bro, what are you doing? Who are you fooling, bro? You don't do that shit every day. You're just never mind. I think I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. Unfortunately,
No, Chris Carson as well. Panama said so. That
to Panama Queen, there's never any Chris Carson. If there is, it's only for a few plays. He's always injured. Oh, looks like a new face in the building here. Oh, yeah, that's a troll. That's one of those people trying to sell you viewers. Don't pay no attention to it.
Want to be famous?
Oh, I was really disappointed because I wanted to become famous, Dion.
Yeah.
I really wanted to be famous and get 1,000 followers and 4,000 watch hours, so I couldn't say fuck. But unfortunately, I can't. Ryan, sea chickens or the Cards?
I tell you right now, Nick, you know me. I don't go for Seahawks at all. At all. I don't go for them. I don't care who they go against. Like I said about the Eagles, now, if they wouldn't go arguing our division against Seahawks, I'll be going for the Eagles because I can't stand Seahawks. So you know what my vote is right there, okay?
Now, there's another predictable game on my behalf coming up in the next one. Cowboys, Chiefs. Mr. Rogers isn't on here, so I can't lay the hammer on him. But there's no way I'm picking it. I can't pick I just can't even say that word. So I am going Chiefs. Paul?
Yeah, I'm going for the Chiefs just after the way they played last week.
Don't put any don't try and make sense of your pick. Just know you hate the Cowboys and that's why you're picking the Chiefs. Forget what they did last week. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Dion, who you got?
This was a really hard game to pick. I looked at everything, and both teams are rolling, but I took the home field advantage here because they are in Arrowhead, so I took Chiefs.
Tony?
Oh boy. Oh shit. I guess I'll go with the Chiefs, but it's close. I do have a feeling the Cowboys are going to win this game, but I'm going to pull for the Chiefs.
But luckily you didn't pick. You couldn't actually say that the Cowboys were going to win, and I like your style, Tony. You did use that as a caveat, so I like that.
I honestly think they're more dangerous with Gallup as a wide receiver than they are with Cooper.
Yeah, definitely.
I really believe that they are more dangerous because I just think Dak forces the ball to Cooper, but when Cooper's not there, he spreads. Like he goes all across the board. So I don't know. I'm just worried about the Dallas's pass rush. You take Parsons out of the game, everybody else is injured. If they can't get home versus Mahomes, it could be a long day, but I'll go with the Chiefs.
See, Tanya knows what's going on. I'm going for the Chiefs because I can't stand the Cowboys. A woman after my own heart. What can I tell you? Ryan, who you got?
Got Chiefs. I can't go over the Cowgirls.
Mama, don't let your kids grow up to be cowboys, as I always say. Now, blimey, I can't believe they put this on Sunday Night Football. Bearing in mind, obviously, I know Ben Roethlisberger could still be out. He could be starting, but to be honest, there was not.
He's in.
There wasn't a great.
It just came across my phone. He's in. Ben Roethlisberger starting.
Well, to be honest, that offense hasn't been great, and whether it was Rudolph or Big Ben, Chargers really annoy me because I pick them every week because I want to be excited, and they've flattered to deceive, and it annoys me. It annoys me because the Chargers had so much promise, and they've kind of faltered, but I just can't pick the Steelers for obvious reasons. So I am going to go Chargers, Paul. Who you got?
I'm going to go for the Chargers purely because I like Herbert. That's my only rationale behind it.
Dion?
Bolt up, baby. Go Chargers.
Tony?
Chargers.
Ryan?
Who? Okay. I don't know if I'm a lone wolf. So I can really hear everybody, but I got Steelers.
Warm that voice up. It's coming, Ryan, because I have already picked. I can't pick the Steelers, so you're lone wolfing. Even Panama has chimed in. She's got the Chargers. Tanya's got the Chargers. So even the viewers want to see that lone wolf, my brother.
Ow!
There you go. Giants, Buccaneers. Before we get to the main event of the evening, as the boxing commentators always say, Giants at Bucks. Tampa Bay 4-0 at home this season, 2-3 on the road. Do a decent Giants team turn up with their defense, or does TB just do TB things and roll over them? Obviously, AB isn't anywhere to be seen because he's doing AB things like a complete idiot that he is. I'm going to probably lone wolf this one, and I'm going to go for the Giants to cause a shock. Giants to shock the world. And I've only had one drink, so I can't be drunk just yet. Paul, what say you?
You do know Eli's not playing at quarterback, don't you, for the Giants? You know that's all gone. So I'm going for the Bucks. I want to see you lone wolf this one.
You mean Eli isn't playing? I'm disappointed. Dion.
Man, you're definitely lone wolfing it. Tom Brady is going to beat the crap out of Daniel Jones.
Tony,
Bucks.
I know you got to jump off. This is your last one. Am I
Bucks.
going to lone wolf, or
Bucks.
is
There's
someone?
Come on,
gonna-
Nick. You can't. There's no way. I mean, the Giants are playing are going to play this game without their leader or their secondary, and Ryan. He's out with COVID. So, the experience isn't there. They do have I forgot the other kid's name. He can't Adoree Jackson, but you got weapons all over the place on that offense. So, and their offensive line's playing pretty solid. I don't know, unless Giants. It's in Giant Stadium, or it's at MetLife, or down in Tampa Bay.
No, it's in Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
Bucks.
Obviously, I know you're going to pick the Niners to beat Jacksonville, Tony, before you go. Because otherwise I'd have to excommunicate you and never invite you on here again if you pick Jacksonville. Tony, as ever, you've got to run. You're the man. Thank you for joining us, and I really appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thanks.
Take care, Tony.
It's nice meeting you, Tony. Nice meeting you, bud.
Yeah, definitely. No doubt. Thanks for having me, and go Niners.
Always. Take care, Tony. Keep them streets safe. Keep those streets safe.
Later,
and
guys.
wear your seatbelt. I heard you the other night.
No seatbelts. I have a thing with seatbelts. Before I go, I was driving one day and my seatbelt pinned me against the seat for no reason. And ever since then, I will not wear a seatbelt. I didn't even step on a brake. I was driving. I went to lean forward to grab my wallet and I couldn't move. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, this. And I said, fuck this. And I just ripped the seatbelt right off. And that was it.
Because it does bring a whole new dynamic to when you talk on the Nothing But Niners, especially when you're driving home, because every other word is ping, ping, ping.
You want to know the most messed up part about it is I don't even hear that. That's the most messed up part about it. I don't hear the ping. Mike's like, you don't hear that? I was like, hear what? I'm just
honestly, I'm thinking you must be able to hear that because it's like a thing going off in my head. It's crazy.
What happens is you got to remember one thing. You tune it out. I'll tell you this. I went to pick up my kids one time from my ex's house, and for God's sakes, her smoke detector, the battery needed to be changed.
Oh, that is bad.
That beep. They literally had heard it so long and didn't even know what it was. They tuned it out. I was like, you guys don't hear that?
That beep goes right through me. Like I freak out.
And I told my son, I was like, get the chair. I was like, get this chair, go get this battery, and I'm gonna show you what to do. And he changed it and he was like, oh, that's all we had to do. And I said, yeah, Jesus Christ. Like some of the stuff driving thing.
Honestly, that little beeping noise when your smoke detector battery is on the way out is the worst, and you can't tune it out because it's so high pitched. And it might as well just go, change my fucking battery, change my battery, change my. Will you change? Hate it. Tony, much love. Enjoy your weekend, brother.
All right, have a good one, guys.
Take care.
Have a good one.
From one legend to another. Better late than never. Here he is. Funnily enough, and I bet you now Scott has joined, the burner account will start putting comments in. Hashtag just saying.
I'm going to leave my hands on the counter.
It always happens. You know, as soon as you turn up, your burner account will appear in the comments. Let's just, if I had a timer, I'd start a timer. How are you, Scott? Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm good, fellas. How are you all doing?
Good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I didn't know you had a job in McDonald's as the Ronald McDonald clown because you've left your outfit on. You could have at least, dressed appropriately to come on this show and not left your clown suit on.
Chiefs, right there.
Chumps. Although I did pick the Chiefs again because of who they're playing.
The Cowboys, yeah.
Of course. So, We are going to, obviously you've joined late, so I'm going to let you run the table. I've already lone wolfed a few times. We haven't done, obviously, the main event of the evening, which is obviously the Niners. So I'm going to run through them quickly, and you give me your picks. Saints, Eagles.
Saints.
Dolphins, Jets.
Ugh. I'm going to go the Jets.
Shit. I lone wolf that. Motherfucker, you did that. You were watching.
No,
and you did that on purpose.
I swear.
You slimy mother.
Okay, all right. Dolphins then.
No, too late. You've picked, and I've
I don't give a
already
shit
lone
about
wolfed
that
it.
game. To be honest with you, it don't matter.
Yeah, no one gives a shit about it. Washington Panthers.
Panthers.
Colts Bills.
Bills.
Lions Browns.
Browns.
Titans Texans.
Titans.
Packers Vikings.
Packers.
See, now I did lone wolf that, so that's legit. Ravens Bears.
Ravens.
Bungles Raiders. Well, we all know. I've skipped that one. We know what you're going to do with that one.
Yeah.
Cardinals versus Russie Wussy.
Man, old Russie Wussy should have taken another week off with that finger because he looked like shit. God, I couldn't believe that score.
I thought it was hilarious, personally.
Right. Although I will say, everybody said the Chiefs just beat Green Bay because they didn't have Aaron Rodgers, and that's why. But they only scored 10 more points with Aaron Rodgers than they did against the Chiefs with Jordan Love. So, yeah, I don't know who to pick in that one. That's
I obviously picked the Cardinals because I can't pick the Sea Chickens.
Cardinals.
That'll do. See, you've gone up again in my estimations just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit.
See, for me, that's like having to pick like if the when the Raiders play the Broncos or some shit. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's got to be like
that's a push for you. That's a push, right? Because I couldn't. We obviously know you're picking your boys against the Cowgirls. The putrid Steelers versus the Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers have been bad, man.
Keep letting me down every week. I say it, don't I? I expect a great performance, and they let you down. But again,
they're just not that good. Their defense is very good.
I cannot pick the Steelers. That's like bad taste.
Yeah, that's one of those things where maybe the Steelers could run with Harrison and the Chargers, but I've been picking against the Chargers, but I think they win this one. I'm going to pick Chargers.
And finally, as you walked in, Giants Bucks. I've already lone wolfed the Giants. Are you going to unlone wolf me or no? I didn't think you would.
No,
I didn't think you would. But you got to ask these things. You don't know,
right? Yeah,
I can't do a reverse lone wolf. I can't go because that wouldn't sound right. That sounded more like Tasmanian devil. Right, we're going to get to the main event. But first of all, Scott, obviously you were on the show last Saturday. Can you just cast your mind back to last Saturday? And we were talking about the Niners and the Rams game. And people were picking the Niners, people were picking the Rams, etc. I can't remember. Did I pick the Niners to win by 10 and to steamroller them? Because I can't remember. Because it's obviously very hazy what was going on at the time. And, I can't remember what happened yesterday, let alone this time last week. But was I the only one to say that they were going to absolutely murder the Rams by 10?
No, I think that was Ryan.
No, it wasn't, but nice try. Ronald McDonald, don't show yourself up. Because I'll screen share and I'll find it and put it on that I said.
You did. You did, but even if the Jags fan picked their team every week, they'd be right 2 or 3 times. So
Did you watch the highlights?
I did. I saw the score. I was pretty surprised.
You see, now you should watch that game because that's the blueprint of how the Chiefs should actually be, right? Consistent, not overhyped, just
Yeah, but the Chiefs don't run the ball like that. That's not who they are.
Exactly.
They throw. Patrick Mahomes, it's more pass heavy. They'll run, but they won't run like that. You'll never see a Chiefs game where they run the ball 44 times. It's just not going to happen.
That's because they don't have a running back that can do it without fumbling on 3 attempts.
Right. I can't believe the Rams let them run wild like that over him. I just don't. I mean,
hey, we have the Aaron Donald killer. His name is Daniel Brunskill. We don't worry about that. That's just always
that's only one player, and he's not a rush stopper anyway. He's a pass rusher. So
he was a passenger. He wasn't a pass rusher.
When it became obvious the 49ers were just going to run the ball down their throat, they should have just abandoned everything else and stacked up and said, okay, well, let's see if Jimmy G can beat us.
Stacking the box wouldn't have even helped. We murdered them. Like there was just no way. And this wasn't like we were gashing them for big yards. We just punished them continually. There would even stacking the box probably wouldn't have done them any good.
Yeah.
It's not your burner account, which I'm quite surprised about because you've been on here 5 minutes and your burner account hasn't shown up. Either of them. Carly says Chiefs are a more finesse team on offense. Although I expect you PayPal'd in $5 to make that contribution to your team.
Yeah, they're modern football, throw the ball down the field.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like people talk about the run and you got to establish the run, and the 49ers ran their way to that Super Bowl a couple of years ago, but that's just not sustainable with the way the league is played nowadays. Just ask the Ravens how that works out for you. At some point, you got to be able to air it out and score quickly and get big chunk plays and put pressure on other teams. And I just, you know, running the ball and playing defense, that shit worked back in the 80s and the 90s, but it'll work for a game or two here and there, you know, or like the Ravens, you could beat up on a bunch of crummy teams and run the ball down their throat and set crazy records for rushing yards. But then when you get into the playoffs and you come up against someone that has an elite quarterback that throws up 2 or 3 touchdowns in 6 or 7 minutes on you, you're in catch-up mode, and if you can't throw the ball and move the ball quickly and score quickly, you're toast.
Yep.
But good win for you guys. I was pleased to see that result. I was happy for you guys. Been kind of a tough season. I say that we're 6-4, but it was a tough season for us. We won 3 straight now or whatever. But yeah, that's a good win.
We may have enjoyed it a few times this week, and we may have all hyped it up on Twitter and watched it back a fair few times, especially here in the UK.
I just want to share some finesse, all right? Because it's very important that we share this. So just look at this. Just watch
this
this
is the Deebo
finesse.
Samuel touchdown.
4th and 6.
It's Deebo.
Bang. That is finesse.
That's bad tackling.
Just
He had four guys around him when he caught the ball, and not one of them could tackle him. He's balled out this year, though. He was like a sleeper pick for me in a couple of fantasy leagues I was playing in this year, and I think I got that. I think I got that dude in the 6th or 7th round in a couple of leagues, and he's been killing it. So good for he's a good player.
Oh, look at it!
Looks better than Tyreek.
Ryan has just come back and he's in his podcast studio. Look at him with the microphone going on. Ryan.
What's up, guys? Can you got me?
Yeah, we've got you. We've got you.
Cool. Yeah, I'm starting to get going on it. Hopefully it works.
Well, it is actually working at the moment. That's good. That's good. That's good. Right.
Mike in the background as well.
Yeah, this fell. Oh, it wasn't on right. Sorry, guys. Sorry. It wasn't on right. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Right. The main game of the week, obviously.
Oh, my God. I hate this thing. Let me put you on mute. Sorry.
49ers, Jags. Is it a foregone conclusion? Is it going to be tougher than everyone thinks because of obviously coming off of that result last weekend? Let's get an impartial view first. Although it might not be impartial because Ronald McDonald's probably going to pick the Jags anyway just to be that man. Scott, what do you see in this game? How do you see it going?
It's the Jaguars and who? Sorry, I kind of lost the audio there for a second.
49ers.
He knows. He's just.
Yeah, I was about to say, come on, really, bro? Really? We say the main event.
You. Dion, he got
you.
You
are with a bunch of 49er fans. He did get me. Okay, that's some bullshit. I'm watching that one.
Right there, but that's all right. Now, 49ers win that game easily.
Now, when you say easily, do you say 7, 10, 4? What? I'm not going to pin you on.
To me, an easy win is more than 2 scores, so more than 10. More than a touchdown and a field goal, so 11, 14 or more.
Of course, we all know Mr. Smug, and this could be reverse psychology as usual, and he's got his poker face on, and he's saying that like we're all going to go, Scott, my man, you've jumped on the hype train. See, and now he's broken cover. He doesn't mean it.
No, I do. Come on, man. They are much better than the Jaguars.
See, I don't know whether I can trust you with your assumption because I know that that poker face is back on again. And
I picked the Jaguars last week and they burned me. I thought, they were playing. Who was it they played last week? Anyway, I picked them last week. No, 49ers are a much better team.
I don't like this new Mr. Smug. He comes in late still with his Ronald McDonald costume on, and he's saying that the Niners are going to wax them. I don't know. Dion, do you buy it?
I'm not a Niners hater.
No, I buy it. I buy that. That's if anything. If there's one thing about Scott here, he's a fairly logical person. He knows that picking the Jags to win this game it wouldn't make sense. Right. There are weeks where, yes, you are correct, Nick. He does have, ulterior motives, but this week there's no way in hell. He's probably looking at it like, wait, Jags and Niners. Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence. The only thing they have is a D. Yeah, no, he's picking logically.
Yeah, I'm not a Niners hater, Nick. You know that.
First time for everything. No, I know you're not a hater, but as I say, I do know you use your reverse psychology and tell us that, we're going to do well, and then we go and get waxed by the Cardinals. It has happened.
Well, I said last week that you were going to get beaten easily by the Rams. So there you go. That's
actually true. And you weren't fresh off your Ronald McDonald gig, so we couldn't take you in your clown suit.
I'm disappointed in Matt Stafford the last 2 weeks, man. I don't know what's going on.
Do you know? I was saying before, he looked awful.
That's
and
2 games in a row. He looked awful. He looked awful against the Titans too.
I'll say this, and people told me I was wrong in the beginning of the season. Matthew Stafford is a loser. He comes from losing. He never won anything in Detroit. He didn't even win a playoff game in Detroit. There is a reason Matthew Stafford does what he does. When the bright lights are on and they're shining, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not good. You're going to see the real person come forward, mess things up, and it's not going to work. I know that the Rams have mortgaged their future in ways you can't imagine. Now they got OBJ, they got Von Miller, they got Jalen Ramsey, they got Aaron Donald. So you've got at least 4 people on your defense that are notable. You lose Robert Woods, and then you go to OBJ. So it's like, man, I'm not really taking a step back, but yes, you are, because OBJ doesn't have a rapport with Matthew Stafford. OBJ has no idea what their playbook is like. So there's a variety of things, but I've been telling people all year long, man, Stafford come from losing, and it's hard to shake that. When you consistently lose, you don't know how to win. So mark my words, man. He'll screw up sometime this season.
Yeah, I was of the opinion it was more Lions than it was him, and I still am of that opinion. In the sample size, I mean, he's had 2 bad games out of 10. The other 8 games, he was pretty good. I mean, he's still leading the league in passing yards, and he's still up there, I think, in the top 5 in touchdowns. So
he did, but he did that before in Detroit. Like these weren't things that were abnormal for him.
Right. But
the issue is.
But if you're leading the league in passing yards and you're top 5, you should have a winning record and not a losing record, which is what he had.
Very much so. I agree.
He's got a winning record now. Still, I think they'll figure it out. Everybody's got a rough patch there where they hit the and
yeah. We all go through
something about the Niners too, and the Shanahan McVay thing. I mean, you can't blame it away as coincidence.
Hey, look, man, Kyle always makes Sean his bitch. He does it every fucking time.
Right. Yeah, and I always thought it was a Jared Goff thing because they had Jared Goff, and it's like, well, yeah, anybody you should be able to out-coach, and when you guys got Jared Goff as fucking quarterback. The only quarterback I think I've ever seen in a fantasy league, and I know because it was on my team, score negative points in a game was Jared Goff. He scored like -3 one week on me.
Why the hell would you have Jared Goff as your quarterback?
Yeah, that was like 4 years ago, and he was my backup quarterback, and my starter was on a bye week. And he put up some numbers, and there in the day until he got figured out a little bit. He was a serviceable fantasy player. And he put up some
shit.
What up, fam?
Guy.
What's going on?
It's my dog.
Go ahead, John. Man, what's up?
Good afternoon. What's going on, guys? Scott, Dion, my brother.
My brother from another mother, man. Good to see your face, brother.
I guess I'm not John. I guess I'm not John's brother then.
Not unless he's related to Ronald McDonald's brother, because that's what you dressed up.
Ronald McDonald.
Look at those colours; they are McDonald's. I bet he's got the old double M on his back, the twin arches on his back.
Hey guys, real quick, if you like watching documentaries on crazy stuff, if you got HBO Max, there is a documentary on there right now called McMillions. You got to check it out. Some dude frauded McDonald's for the $1 million Monopoly game pieces, like $24 million. That shit was crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I don't think I haven't seen that documentary, but I did hear about that. I read about that when it.
Yeah, that's gonna be that. That was a good one.
JV, how are you, sir? How did
good.
The basketball game go?
It's Callie's team. They're young. They're getting it together. It's fun. It's fun.
Keeps you out of trouble, and it means you don't have to sweep the leaves up in the yard as
well.
Yeah,
yes,
right?
Yes. No, I'm doing that too, bro. I mean, there's a metric fuck ton sitting in my front lawn. It's ridiculous.
Well, as you're late to the party, and I let Mr. Smug run the slate, we'll go through the games quickly again, and you just tell me who you got. Saints, Eagles.
I got the Saints.
I lone wolf that with the Eagles, so I've already done it. I'm not doing it again. Dolphins, Jets. Does anyone give a shit? But anyway,
no. But I got the Jets winning that one.
See, now I lone wolf that, and everyone. I had the Jets. WTF versus the hype machine Panthers.
Oh, I got the Panthers.
Colts, Bills.
Oh man, that's a goodie. Is that at Indy?
No, it's at whatever their stadium's.
Okay, I'll take Buffalo.
Okay,
but not to cover.
Lions at Browns.
Oh man, I said on my show, the Lions were going to win this one. I'm going to take the Browns coming off that ugly loss to the Patriots. I think they'll bounce back. I've been thinking it over, man. I took some shit for that.
They got absolutely waxed, didn't they, by New England?
Oh my God, it was fucking pitiful.
I bet it was a nice atmosphere in your house after the Browns got completely trounced.
Pin drops. Pin drops.
Use that.
I could just imagine how bad it must have been.
It was pin drops, fam.
Just out of interest, so do you watch the games with her?
Yeah, I try.
So
I try.
did you watch?
But every once in a while,
week?
I say something that gets me kicked out.
Well, exactly. That was my thing. If you watched the game last week, how long was it before you sniggered and she told you just to go?
I left. I took it upon
so
myself.
You knew where your bread was buttered and you saw how bad it was going and you're like, I'm getting the fuck out.
Every down.
I bet that was see me. I would have hung in there until she literally smashed the bars over my head.
No.
Because that would have been funny.
Panama, what's good? What's good, fam?
There you go. The Panama Queen is in. Texans, Titans.
Oh man, Texans, Titans. This is. I'm going to take the Titans to cover.
Yeah, that's because he knows Havoc is going to rip him a brand new asshole if he doesn't.
I'm just like, dude, if it's lopsided, if it's anything like the Jags Bills game, then I get to take Havoc to the woodshed.
Packers, Vikings, and I'm still the only lone wolf on here.
That's a divisional game, right? So where's it at? Is that at
it's at the Vikings.
Minnesota.
So Rodgers is good. He's healthy to play.
He is.
I'm going to take the Pack.
So I'm still the lone wolf. Ravens,
but I think Aaron Jones is out, right? Indefinitely.
Yeah, but you got to remember AJ Dillon's been balling instead.
Yeah.
So it's not they're not really losing much.
Nope.
Ravens,
I was surprised they spent that much money on Aaron Jones after they got AJ Dillon. I thought that was like they brought in AJ Dillon and then would let Jones go and save that money.
Maybe they didn't know what they had. Maybe they didn't know what they really had in Dillon.
Right.
Ravens, Bears, John.
Ravens, Bears starting to look. Justin Fields is putting it together, man. He's starting to find his feet. He's starting to mesh with the offense. Nagy's still trash.
That's never going to change.
I'm going to take Baltimore.
Bungles.
I think Khalil Mack is out in depth. I think Khalil Mack's
gone. He's gone for the season.
Yeah, Mack's on
done for the season.
They still have what? Akeem Nicks. Maybe he's just as good. So I'll take Baltimore though.
Bungles versus the Faders.
Oh my. They're discombobulated, man. They don't even know what's going on. That franchise is taking a beating. Unfortunately, man, in every facet. I'm going to take the Bengals to pull this one out.
That was a clean sweep by everyone. Although, obviously, my pick was because I hate the fucking Raiders and I don't give a shit. Cardinals versus Russie Wussy.
Oh, man.
Even without his little pin in his finger and his cornballness, I can't remember. Someone did lone wolf this, and it might have, or was it two? I can't remember. But what do you think, John?
Oh man, the Cards just have more. Look, the Seahawks are trash right now, man. They don't. Russ is trying to play catch up. He's not doing a very good job. He could take that pin and Put a flower on his shirt, man, right here on the breast. I'm going to take the Cards to take that one home.
Cowboys at the Ronald McDonald's, aka the Chiefs.
Oh man, that's at Arrowhead, right?
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs to pull that one out.
See, I told you that's how I know that's my brother, because we thought the same thing. You go to Arrowhead, he's not going to win.
The sorry ass Steelers versus the really disappointing Chargers.
Man, the Chargers have let me down, dude. We've been picking them, Nick, week in, week out, right? Yeah. And they haven't done a damn thing.
For the last 2 or 3, they've let us down, bro.
Man, I really had Herbert to this point now to week 10. He was like my dark horse, you know. I had him as an MVP candidate, man. I really thought he was going to pull this out. Oh man. I'm going to take the Chargers to bounce back.
They've got to, right? They've got to.
They have to. They really do. Their backs are against the wall in that shit division.
They've been disappointing, as you say, John. We've picked them because of Herbert and the excitement that he brings, and they have flattered to deceive. But I think, I can't pick the Steelers anyway, but it doesn't matter who they play. And finally, before we get to the Niners, obviously, the Giants at the Bucks, and there was a lone wolf on this one, and it was me.
I mean, the Giants have a decent defense. I mean, they're not terrible on defense. Jones is garbage. I mean, I'm taking the Bucks. They're at home. I'm taking the Bucks.
So
they're also coming off a loss. They're coming off a loss today.
I can't help it, but
tomorrow. They'll be coming off a loss tomorrow, man. They're gonna be ready to win at home. I'm taking Tom all day and twice on Sunday.
Now, we didn't get your opinion because obviously you joined late. What was your... Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you saw... I'll say this to everyone that comes in late. I don't know if you saw the show last week, but I had the 49ers beating the Rams by 10. And I was the only one who stuck their neck out and said that apart from the win, we were going to bitch slap them. And obviously we did.
Man.
I mean, I never expected that result in a million years. I knew we were going to win, but I'd have taken 3. I'd have taken by a safety. I would have done whatever. What were your feelings on the game? Have you watched it a couple of times? Have you just watched it once and watched it? I mean, how did you feel about that performance as a whole?
I watched it twice because I needed to believe my eyes. But I'm going to tell you right now, Nick, I mean, we identified ourselves as the team that, we know who we are. I mean, we knew Carl. I miss you, buddy.
Yeah, I noticed Carl didn't come on here today, but he decided he would come on just to come in the comments. But,
yeah, it's good to see you, Carl.
It is what it is.
The Niners look good, Nick. We've established an identity, man, and it's an identity that we're familiar with. So it was good to see everybody play their role. Jimmy didn't throw 40 times, so I think we pretty much understand that if they can minimize Jimmy's throws, he won't make a mess out of the game. And Bad Jimmy showed up just like I knew he would. Freaked me out a couple of times, but they managed to keep everything under control. The defense was pretty awesome. Jimmy Ward got flowers from me. Elijah Mitchell was awesome. I'm really, really proud of that kid, man.
And he's
Jeffrey
out this week too.
I know, man. He's set back with a finger injury, huh?
Yeah,
Jeffrey Wilson came
that
back.
wasn't going to happen. I kind of figured it.
Yeah, and I really didn't want to see him re-aggravate or make it worse against the Jags, even though the Jags the rush defense is pretty solid. So I think Jeffrey Wilson's going to have some work cut out for him, Nick. But I'm really glad that he's back, man. I feel like maybe there's some maybe he brought some leadership to the team. He was a piece that was missing. He's our red zone back, right? And I mean, he did well. So I look forward to seeing Trey Sermon this game, man. I want to see him a lot. Buckeyes are playing today. They're playing the Spartans. Big game for us. And I hope we get to see some Trey Sermon on Sunday, man. Outside of that, Shanahan's got to stick to the game plan, man. I just don't want us to shit the bed, man. I don't want us to revert back to weeks 1 through 6. You know, I don't want that shit. I can't watch that kind of Niner football. Like it disgusts me. I mean, Deion could barely even watch the damn games. So I mean, I can't watch them shit the bed like that. But it's going to be a group effort, man. I mean, it's going to take everyone, and I hope their eyes are open. I hope they understand right now that they have a chance. Like there is a mathematical window here that we can make the playoffs. Now, how well we do, if we make the playoff, that's a big if. How well we do, that's on them, man. Like the Niners were not supposed to be this shitty this season. Like we were supposed to have a better record by now. I mean, I had them at 13. I had them at 13 wins. Realistically, you know, and we have 5. No. Yeah, 5, right? No, we're 4-5.
4-5.
We're 4-5. So, you know, we're not even 500 yet. Like, how does that fucking make you feel? Like shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm disappointed, like all of the Niner Empire. We've seen some shoots of recovery last week, but we always beat the sorry ass Rams. And
but we beat a different Rams team, Nick. This was a testament. They could move the ball better with this team, and they've shown that they could.
My issue is with tomorrow that we don't go out and lay an egg because, you know, we have a saying here when soccer teams play. So a small soccer team beats a big soccer team, and they say, well, that's their cup final. And I don't want last Sunday to be our cup final. And I think we can build from this. Now, if Kyle stays in the same bag as he did last week, I don't see it being an issue tomorrow. I really don't. Just run. And we've always said, all the time Shanahan's been here, right? Run the fucking ball. Doesn't matter who the QB is, just run the fucking ball. And everything else will work itself out. And that happened with Befford, it happened with Mullins, and it's happened with Jimmy. So we need to get the run game. Now, obviously, Elijah Mitchell probably is going to be out. I don't know if it's a game time or he's been ruled out already. Sorry, Dion.
He's out.
He's out. Okay. So the other guys in the running back room have got to step up, and Sermon's got to step up. And I'm not worried. I am not worried. I know that the Jaguars' run defense is pretty stout. But again, if good Jimmy turns up and that ball is coming out early and we are running the ball, I don't see it being an issue. And I'm not taking things for granted. I'm not being blasé, especially after last week. But I don't see this Jaguars team posing a problem. But just run the fucking ball. And and the thing I loved about this Rams game, we didn't let up. We didn't let up. We had our foot on their throats and we choked them. And that, to me, is what Niners football should be about. Not all this pretty stuff and, oh, well, let's see if this works. Let's see if that works. Just stick to fundamentals.
If they stack the box, Nick, if they put 8 in the box, if they stack it and take the run away from us and force Jimmy to throw downfield, right? Then we start getting more. We start forcing Jimmy to throw more, which the more Jimmy throws, the more opportunity for bad Jimmy to settle in. That's the shitty part. You see, if Jimmy maintains the lesser throws, then he sticks to more of the scripted plays, the throws that he is guaranteed, that he should make, right? There are X many plays that Jimmy is scripted. I guarantee it. And this is where we find the success in Jimmy for 18 for 20 or 14 for 16 or 19 for 21, whatever it is. If it's just those scripted plays for Jim, he hits his marks. If we start going outside of the game plan and we start forcing Jimmy to start throwing into the playbook, those are not always going to, they're just not always in our favor. And we know that because Jimmy's manageable. He's manageable.
The thing is, though, and it's obviously, it's not a big if, but if this running game goes and you get 2 or 3 yards on first down, 2 or 3 yards on second down, and it becomes third and manageable, that's when you get the underneath stuff. And apparently, I've read a lot about the Jaguars like to keep you underneath. And that's Jimmy's forte. Jimmy's forte is the underneath stuff. It's not the deep balls and things, although he can throw them. But I'd much rather see him doing the underneath stuff to Ayuk, to Debo, to Juice, to whoever's in there. And that's where we get the yak. And obviously the yak is the important thing. So, and I think last week it was executed perfectly. And my heart is in my mouth every time Jimmy drops back. It is. And I love Jimmy. And I am a Big Ten. I am a massive Jimmy G fan. But even I do get jittery every time he comes back to goes back to pass. And I think he does definitely work. He works better in shotgun because he sees the field a lot quicker and he can get those quick passes out. But even my heart was in my, and that 4th and 6, I'm thinking, Carl, what the fuck are you doing?
It was 4th and 5.
Sorry,
it wasn't 4th and 6. Yeah. It's okay.
It's an extra yard, but you get my point. And I'm thinking, and then he hits it. And even though we know it went for a touchdown, and of course, I'm being as subdued as I can because it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And even I was like, wow. And he nailed it. And I'm sure, Paul, you'll attribute being at stupid o'clock in the UK. I mean, even when Jimmy Ward got that pick 6, I was like, and I wanted to, but yeah, I would have got killed if I'd have started cheering at that time of the morning. But I mean, was anyone else surprised that A, Kyle went for it on that 4th down, and B, just how well this, and obviously after the fact, the players only defensive meeting, and everyone was saying there's no rah-rah guys, there's no person to like crash helmets and stuff. It was interesting that they had this meeting and then all of a sudden we stepped up. John, Paul, Ryan, what are your thoughts on that?
Ryan, is there a fire? What the fuck is all that smoke? PC's on fire?
No, my smoke, right? I blew it this way,
okay,
but
right.
yeah, it's my smoke, my smoke. Sorry, that's why it's been smoking this way. Sorry about that, man. Sorry.
No, it's all good, buddy. I was just kidding. I was worried about you in there. Somebody get this man a fire extinguisher.
Call the fire brigade. I mean, what's go around the table? What's everyone's thoughts on that play? Was anyone surprised? Were you, oh my God, this is all going to end in tears? John, what did you think when he went for it?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was nervous, Nick. I mean, I hold my breath every time and I close my eyes. I'm basically just like that. This is what I look like. I go, fuck, and I open my eyes, and it was just beauty. It was beauty. But again, it doesn't give me the confidence that I should have, because I constantly worry that we won't string together consistency after that. That's what freaks me out. I love it because that means that you're willing to do it, but you don't. Come on, bro. I mean, we're not going to go theoretically. We're not going to go on 4th and 5, and have Jimmy execute a touchdown pass, right? I mean, that's not good football. That's
just out of
football,
interest. Does anyone know what the score was when we went for it? Anyone? Rough idea? Were we that far?
20, I think it was 24-7. Pretty sure it was. Pretty sure.
So he pretty much
had cushion.
decided
We had a
were
cushion.
that far ahead. We're just going to go for it anyway. Type scenario.
Just put your foot on his throat and step down, bro. That's what he should have done. I agree with Panama. Should have done more of this in Arizona. And we were desperate in Arizona. Why didn't we?
Trouble is, I think with that Arizona game, and it did show against the Rams, because we were ahead. And that's the thing. We need to be ahead. We need to score at the first opportunity. And obviously, we got the pick 6, and then Jimmy went on a 93, 97, whatever it was, scoring drive and at the clock, etc. And it's nice to be comfortable at that point. And then it kind of unlocks everything else, because you can take chances, because you can be creative, where if you're down, even by 7, that creativity, if it isn't working and you go down by 14, because the Rams abandoned the run game very, very fast. And that was a problem for them. And we just opened our bag of tricks, and that was it. We were gone. Absolutely gone. And that, to me, was the perfect game, and probably the best, if not one of the best, of Carl's games as a head coach of this team. And that cemented to me, that he shouldn't be fired, and all of that talk should just stop, because it's ridiculous.
Got a win though. You got to if you win it, if you beat the Rams, you have to beat the Jags.
I agree.
You can't shit the bed under any circumstance.
If we don't win convincingly, let's say we win by a field goal and it's very tight and things like that, are people going to start rumbling on with the, oh, this isn't good enough, fire them all, do this, do that? Or do you think, as the Raiders used to say, let's win, baby, just win?
I think it's just the fans. I think the fans are just emotional. I think we're fed up, and I think they're just expressing themselves, Nick, in a frustrated, exhausted manner. Like, I'm fucking exhausted from this. This was not a fun season for me. I was looking forward to this season with reservation, right? Like, I expected a firm playoff run. We had a fairly favorable schedule that we shouldn't be 4-5 right now. So I think when you see people like fire Kyle, this is bullshit. He sucks. Where's the magic? He didn't pull anything out of his sleeve. Motherfucker doesn't have sleeves. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's probably an overreaction, and everybody got desperate, dramatic, and And look, I mean, when we say get rid of Shanahan, then who are we going to replace him with, right? I mean, there are candidates that could be good, but I'm just not willing to go there yet. I'm not willing to go there yet. No, that's Chicago's problem. That's Detroit's problem. That's Minnesota's problem. There are other teams that they need to worry about finding another candidate. Right now, I'm not giving up on San Francisco. I'm not giving up on Kyle Shanahan just yet. Even though I was been frustrated, I curse him, But
yeah,
show me that you can beat more
John,
than McVay.
As quite I would say, liberal thinking person, must have been disgusted over the last
Fucking
2 or 3
furious.
weeks of
Pissed.
the bullshit going on with fire Kyle, fire, Lynch, fire whoever. John,
I didn't jump in. I didn't want him to fired. I didn't have a comment. I didn't have comment. I just let everyone exert their opinion, and then I listened to everyone. And I'm gonna tell you, people got my wheels spinning, but I didn't argue and I didn't fight. My bad, dude.
I'll say this. Any other head coach with a record that Kyle has would have been fired by now. And that is just 100% the truth. There is no other way around it. Kyle is here because of his last name. Any other head coach with a record that Kyle has would have been gone. No one gives a shit that you went to the Super Bowl and lost it. At the end of the day, it's about results. And we as fans got tired of it. I was of the mindset. I just started looking at everything. The man didn't have a better record than Chip fucking Kelly. Come on.
Nope.
Like we can't sit up here and
have a better record than Tom Sula though, because that was the other one he was being.
No, Tom Sula was handed. I give Tom Sula a pass. He was handed a shit team, and they gave it to him because they wanted somebody to accept Balky. At that year we hired Tom Sula. To be honest with you, the way this should have worked out, and I know in hindsight it's better that it didn't. Adam Gase came and he said, "I'll come here, I'll be your head coach, but I want Vic Fangio as my defensive coordinator." And Jed York told him, "No, you have to have Tom Sula as your coordinator." And Adam Gase said, "Fuck off, I'm out of here." At the end of the day, any other head coach with a record like this would have been fired a long time ago. He probably would have gotten another job somewhere else, yes. But what I was telling people in that moment was, you're going to have to deal with Kyle for at a bare minimum at least 2 more years. He has a 6-year extension. So what they're going to do is, and then Jason Aponte, shout out him, he said it best. And this is the first place I heard it. I know a couple of other people have latched on. The minute Trey starts, the clock is ticking on Kyle Shanahan. If Trey comes out there and shits the bed, and you have another season and he shits the bed again, people are going to start going, there's no offensive genius. There's no offensive guru. This guy just doesn't know what he's doing. And that these are the truth, man. Thank you, Panama. Thank you.
He's right.
Peterson won a Super Bowl and got fucking fired.
There's facts.
Thank
right
you. That just fuck, man. If we had sound effects, give her a round of applause. I'd give her a fucking.
I got the keyboard, so I can't do that. I can't. I don't have the keyboard.
What I'm talking about, man. But those are the keys.
Dion, can I just say I'm too fucking cheap for sound effects?
That's all right.
I wish I had that keyboard. Yeah, I wanted to go on one little rant. I was following Dion on that.
Yeah,
Kyle's a great coach. He is, but like everybody says, you got to execute the plays. Once we execute his plays and keep going with them, he'll be fine. That's the reason why we gave him extension for. I understand that. And I seen last week the game when they showed Trey. He is gamed. He's ready to come back on that field. You see him looking at plays, looking at, I guess, Rick. I can't say his name right. Rick. He's talking to him over the play. Yeah. He's looking at the plays with him, and I think he's ready. But he's just waiting for Jimmy to do something, That way, Kyle just sees Jimmy as a different style quarterback. You know, that's the reason why he went and got him. So basically, you know, just Kyle's not going anywhere, people. I'm sorry to say, Kyle ain't going nowhere.
As I've always said, from the moment we drafted Trey Lance up until now, and my stance still stays the same. And everyone gets on Kyle's back, and we don't see everything that goes on. Grant Cohn doesn't see everything that goes on. They have a window where they're at practice, right? And Trey Lance could be throwing fucking lasers for 10 minutes. And he's hitting everyone in stride, and he's scrambling, he's doing this and blah, blah, blah. Then they say, right, it's now closed. Everyone goes, and he could turn into Jordan Love. No one sees what goes on when the press isn't there. And they're not going to turn around and go, well, you know, Trey did all right for the open session, but as soon as it was a closed session, he stunk. Of course, they're not going to say that. Nobody sees what goes on behind closed doors. No one sees mechanics. No one sees if they're doing 7-on-7s or 11-on. No one sees any of that. Now, if Trey Lance was ready to even be sprinkled in, as they say, in this offense, he would have been by now, because Jimmy has stunk in a few games. Yet Kyle still doesn't put him in there. And that's
we also
my
don't
issue.
know, Nick, if Trey's tweaked something throughout the week. We don't know. I mean, there should have been packages for Trey, even if it was a red zone package or, you know, just a play, a 4th and 5, and Trey runs with his legs and gets us the first down. There's small things that he can do. I'm not asking him to throw a dart 40 yards down the field and hit somebody in the numbers. Like, I just want to see some mobility plays. Just use him as a running threat. Just do something, but there's not. And I don't know.
Okay, let's ask this
ankle,
question.
or what if he has a knee tweak or a hamstring or a quad, or there could be a number of things, but they're not going to sit here and be like, oh, guess what? Trey's injured, guys.
My question is, and we'll go around a panel because it's all now Niners in here. And by the way, Scott had so funny. He sent me a direct message on Twitter and said, work is blowing me up at the moment. I've got to go back to work. And all I could think was he needed to get back in the booth to serve the Big Macs on the drive-through. But that's another story. Scott, I love you. I'm only taking the piss. You know that. So, right, let's go round a horn. Paul, why isn't Trey Lance featuring at all in this offense? Even if it's just one play to put a decoy in and hand it off or do whatever. Why do you think that is at this moment?
Well, like Dion said, Jason Aponte said it best. As soon as Trey starts, Carl's on the clock. And we talked about on Wednesday night, Nick, I might be on a different wavelength to you guys. You know more than me. I'm a UK fan, definitely not an expert. Just love the 49ers. I'm glad Jimmy stayed in on Wednesday night, and Tuesday night, because I think he deserved the full game. And that play to Debo, like you talked about, Nick, Kyle Shanahan trusted Jimmy. We don't often see that. But like everyone said and sat here listening to you all this afternoon, we're all just frustrated. This season isn't what we expected. And it's difficult enough getting up at 1, 2, 3 in the morning in the UK when you're watching bad football. And I think that's why the fan base in the UK has been really frustrated. And I know you retweeted my Jimmy apology form on Twitter when it was tongue-in-cheek. The elephant in the room is you either love Jimmy Garoppolo or you hate him. And like me and you said, Nick, we just want the quarterback under center for the 49ers to play well. That's it. That's all we're asking for. But to answer your question, I don't know why Trey's not playing. We've seen against the Cardinals the first time, there seemed to be a lot of just let him run the ball. And whether that's played into Kyle's factors, whether Jimmy has earned it because he's played well over the last couple of weeks. And I'm talking for Jimmy that he's played well. I'm not saying Jimmy Garoppolo as a Patrick Mahomes or he's an Aaron Rodgers. But for the last few weeks, Jimmy's done what he's needed to do. So it may be as simple as that. I'm interested to hear what everyone else says, though.
Yeah, he's kind of just done enough. And Dion, I know you've got us on the sound. Tanya says, Dion, are you making us breakfast? Eggs and bacon, please.
Actually, yes, I am. There's eggs, bacon, and there's homemade hash browns coming right up. So I'll put it on the screen for you, man. We throw a little something together. You know, John ain't the only chef in this motherfucker. Goddamn it!
Yeah. Make us hungry. I'm sat out in my garage starving, and you're cooking breakfast. Ryan, what are your thoughts? Why do you think? Oh, he's frozen. No, everyone. No,
Am I there? Sorry,
I'm
here. I'm here.
I froze. What are your thoughts? Why isn't Trey getting even a little sprinkling of plays at this present time or throughout the whole season? We've seen him in a couple of games. I know Jimmy got injured and all that, but why isn't Kyle putting in Trey for a few plays, whatever?
I think Kyle's seeing Jimmy doing his stuff, and that's the reason why he's not doing anything for him right now. And if he does bring him in there, he'll probably just do a run package with him. That's what I'm thinking. Just like what they did with Debo last week, So the only thing I can think of, he's just trying to hold on to him and see what Jimmy does. He's gonna bounce off Jimmy, and that's my thoughts about it. Then I can add to it.
That pan looks well used, Dion. All I can say to that, you need to clean the bottom of the pan. Just saying. John, what do you think? Because I am mystified because every week, and I get why he gets pissed off, because I'd get pissed off with the same questions. When are you putting Trey in? When are you doing it? And basically he bats it off and says, look, when he's ready, he's ready. We put packages in every week, but we don't see him. Why do you think that is? Is it Kyle just being? I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's a little bit of. It's a part, Ryan. I mean, Jimmy's doing what Jimmy has to do. He's not wowing us. He's just being managed, and that's not what you want. That's not what you want in your quarterback. You want your quarterback to take the game into his hands and make plays. Wow me. I don't want to rely on Kyle to pull a string for Jimmy to do something good. I want Jimmy to do something good without Kyle. If Kyle's asking you, can you fucking do this? Then there's your answer, right? Like that's not what you want. You want your coach to fucking smack your quarterback on the head and say, go out there and put the fucking knife in him. Finish him. Get out there and just dice it up. Finish him. Not ask you if you can execute. Motherfucker, you shouldn't have to ask if you can execute. You should be able to execute. So that's that. Why we don't see Trey Lance is because, you got a $25 million investment that you need to get production out of. You have to get your money's worth. But are you getting your money's worth? So I don't put this season on Jimmy Garoppolo entirely. I don't. Because even when Kyle has failed to be a play caller, Jimmy has done well. So I don't blame Jimmy for it. So I don't blame Jimmy for Trey's absence. I feel like, did you see Trey's mother during that Arizona game? Did you see her face? She was fucking terrified. She was fucking
both of
terrified.
Their parents were crapping themselves.
Right. And I would too. Because this is not what you sold us, Kyle. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't run the ball. You didn't trust the ball in your running back's hands that game. You had healthy running backs. But you ran Trey like a gazelle. Like, you made him, you overexerted Trey. And I fear and I haven't voiced this out loud, so this is the first time I've said this out loud. I fear that Kyle injured Trey. Not a season-ending injury. I just feel like he caused Trey to tweak a knee, and it may have actually hindered him since the Arizona game.
That's
You understand what I'm
interesting
saying?
you say that, and we did have this discussion on here after that game because obviously Dion was there, and I asked Dion at the time, and he's coming back. Were the receivers getting separation? Were they getting open, or was he pulling the ball down and running because that's all that was available? And if I remember rightly, Dion said no, they weren't getting separation, they weren't getting open, and the only option was to try and extend it or try and run it. Now, and I can't remember the figure, Dion. Was it 19 runs he had, 16 runs or something?
I believe so. So what happened? Yeah. So with that game, it was like there were some times, probably maybe I want to say maybe 5 times that he could have probably hit the receiver, but the thing is, he's still learning. So when you're on a learning curve, it makes it harder for you to be able to key in on certain things and know, do things right. When we had Jesse Sapolo on, is the perfect example. Jesse said the transition from Joe to Steve was hard because Steve was all over the goddamn place. He was running. The offensive line will coach you up and tell you, hey, man, look, we got you. Just hang in there a little bit longer. I know that I know what you're thinking. The pocket's collapsing. I got to go. Hang in. Throw the ball. Let us do our job.
I think that's
And
the
see,
thing
when you
Dion,
have
as
it-
well with that, and agreed. Jesse
Yeah.
obviously nailed it. I don't think, again, with what you've just said, we can learn this on the fly in the season. You get what I'm saying? It's not something you can do week to week. I think
Honestly-
you need the off season, you need training camp, you need pre-season, you need a whole off season starting from as soon as we're out or whatever. And again, no one wants to see Trey Lance if we are mathematically removed from the playoffs. No one wants to see Lance go in there, freelance it, and get killed. No one wants to see that because what does that prove? Doesn't prove anything. And the naysayers, oh, you shouldn't have drafted him. You should have waited till where you were in the draft and you traded up for this and blah. So, it all comes full circle in the argument. But I don't think you can teach this stuff on a week-to-week basis. You need the season to finish, Jimmy to be gone, Trey gets the keys from whenever it is, March, whenever the first time is, you can practice and do all that jazz and go from there. You're muted, John.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How hard is it to script a play though? To draw
No,
up a
but
play,
if
execute
you're
it all
running
week long.
around, and the line are used to, I wouldn't say Jimmy's a pocket passer per se because he doesn't step up, but you get my thing. And the other thing, of course, was the penalties were stacking up for holding and everything against the line because they weren't used to seeing that behind them. So again, that's something else you need to work on. Oh, instead of, let's say Jimmy gets the ball out in, 2 seconds. But Trey, with his mobility and everything else, maybe the progressions take 4 seconds, 5 seconds. That's a long time for you to maintain that block, not hold, not get beat. So do you see what I'm saying?
Sure.
It must be a hard transition as a offensive lineman to get used to a different person behind you because you've had Jimmy for however many seasons he's been there and
You had two. You're getting 2 out of 4.
And
so
the
I
reason
can understand
Yeah, the
Sorry,
hard
Leon.
part here is, if you look at it, John said it right. You got 2 out of 4. He wasn't there. So as far as them adjusting on the fly, they've been doing it. So that's not an issue. I agree with you to an extent on the full off season. As far as like, you know, Trey going in with the first team, getting the full first team reps, all of that stuff, I agree with you. But I can tell you for me personally, if we are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs and we have like 3 to 4 games left, yes, start Trey. Get him ready.
Yeah.
Get him those game reps. Let him screw up now when it doesn't even fucking matter. That way, when he hits the ground running next year, he's already got a start. He can say he has film to watch himself and to look at the actual game film and to see the plays go where they need to go. He can automatically look and say, okay, I was supposed to hit Ayuk here instead of run. I was supposed to hit Debo here instead of, going to the flat. Like, he can learn those things toward the end of the season. And the thing is even when your season's lost, that doesn't mean you take the starters out. You're not going to switch the whole offensive line and then just put in Aaron Banks and bring back Colton fucking McKivitz. You know, like, you're not going to put him at a disadvantage and do that. You will say to yourself, I need to get this young man the reps because I know I'm not going to have Jimmy here. If your season winds up being a wash, mark my words. I've said it on my show. I'll said it on plenty of other shows. Jimmy Garoppolo will be here up to the point to the day before they have to actually pay him because they're going to try to get the most they can get for him as far as draft capital is concerned. We have a shit quarterback class coming out of this college season. There's no one that's just over the top or standing out. I'm telling you right now, they will hold on to him until they get somebody to be desperate enough to give them a high enough draft pick for him. And once they do, they'll unload his ass and move forward with Trey. If you have the option to get that young man reps, give it to him. If we sneak into the playoffs, I guarantee you there's packages for Trey Lance.
Yeah, but why not now? Why not even?
Because he doesn't
even one.
Kyle stubborn, man. We know this, John. We men. Sometimes we stubborn and we prideful.
My only other thing to what you said, Dion, was, you know, we've had Nick Mullins, not a mobile quarterback, not a scrambler, and Bethard, who was taking sacks like he was Ben Roethlisberger. So that line over the last couple of years they have not seen someone like Trey Lance. And does it worry me? Of course it worries me, because you don't want the kid killed. But my feeling is, and I agree totally with Dion, if this team makes the playoffs, then you see him, because he is the X factor, the unknown factor in all of this. And that could play to our advantage. But I think there's an adjustment needed. But I don't think, the odd play here and there is a bit different to him starting. And you could see in that Arizona game, the line were kind of confused. And obviously, Trey Lance was confused because it's his first start and this, that, and the other, and his mechanics weren't, and all that jazz. I want to see Lance. I do want to see what he can bring, because everyone is on the edge of their seats waiting for this to happen.
You saw some of it, though, Nick. You saw his mobility on display versus Arizona's defense, and that was a sample size of what Trey can do with his legs. Forget about his arm. Let's take his arm mechanics out of this. Just his legs, just the threat that he brings, taking the ball, pulling it, and running. Like that alone. Like no Elijah Mitchell this game, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck does it hurt? What does it hurt to have Trey Lance in there for a package? But it's predictable, right? It's predictable. If Trey Lance is under center, there's a 90% chance that Shanahan's going to let this kid run with it, right? So the defense is going to make their adjustments, all right? But if we'd sprinkled him in just a play or two out of 4 quarters of football, Nick, and one was a run play and one was a throw play, or 2 were throws and 2 were runs, all season, just a little bit, just a tidbit, defenses they're gonna play honest, right?
My only issue is, John, right? We were battering the Rams. He could have sat Jimmy.
That's what I'm telling you. Something doesn't make sense there.
That's what
and I could be.
Yeah. And
I could be a conspirator. I could be full of shit. I could be totally off my mark because I'm batshit sometimes. But what if Trey tweaks something? Maybe not in the Arizona game, but maybe in a week of practice. You know, these beat writers aren't reporting shit. No one's talking about what they see in the work week. I'm not hearing a goddamn whisper. I'm not hearing a whisper about what Trey does during the week with the second team and the third team.
Was it when we used to have Mike Sando? Sando reported on any and everything when he was for ESPN. He did. Sando would tell you somebody broke a fucking fingernail, but we have heard nothing about Lance. You are correct. Here's my other thing about Trey Lance really quick. When the offense needed the first touchdown we scored in the season, who did that? Trey Lance.
Trey. Jimmy got you all the way down there, right to the 5-yard line, right?
When you look at it, Jimmy's shit in the red zone. He's not good. He's actually not very good. Here's the thing. You think if people don't believe that the run game is going to be more dynamic with Trey, watch the preseason game versus the Raiders. I understand they didn't have their starters in, but either way, a team will be shitting the bed if you stack 8 in the box and you have Trey Lance as your quarterback. You know why? Because if he pulls that ball and you chase the running back, somebody's wide open downfield because you just put 8 in the box. I'm just saying that the options are better when you're running the ball. If you run the ball 44 times, Trey Lance should be the quarterback. Why? Because he could be running the ball a couple of times because everybody knows Jimmy's not going anywhere. I
will say, and apart from the obvious with Trey Lance, he sells that play action. He really sells that play action. Jimmy, not so much. And the same with the RPOs and stuff. And that was the one thing, and you do notice it and I have noticed it in the preseason, everything. He does sell that player, and I like that because he really sells it well. Whereas, when Jimmy's doing play action, he's not giving it to the running back. And he doesn't like turning his back to the defense. He doesn't like that. So it's really interesting, but I still think at this present time, like you said, John, maybe something's gone on. Maybe, there is something that we don't know about, but there's got to be a reason why Lance isn't getting put in there. And I think it's more than he's not ready. So I do get that. But anyway, let's go on to final.
Nick, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up here with this whole Trey thing. He may not be ready, and you can't say that. Well, how fucking could he? He's not getting opportunity. Look at Fields every week. I watch Justin Fields as a Buckeyes quarterback, man, every Saturday, and I'm seeing now, especially against the Steelers, right? I looked at Justin Fields and I saw the game coming to him just a little bit easier. He was comfortable, he was confident, and he was doing it. He was doing his thing. They got cheated, but he was doing his thing. All right. And it just shows you that's 9 weeks of football. That's 9 fucking weeks of football. And I don't even think they started the season with him. So that's like maybe 6 weeks of football for Justin Fields. And look at what he looks like. He's getting experience. He's getting his reps. Now, when they went with Justin Fields, they weren't trying to, they weren't mathematically eliminated from the season. Fuck, they were winning, I think.
The problem was the ginger assassin got taken down. And that's why
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But he's
Justin
healthy now.
Fields only came in because the ginger assassin, aka Andy Dalton, went down.
Yeah, and I think
Would he have
Nagy's
got in
coaching
there?
for his
Probably.
job. I think he's. But Chicago doesn't want Nagy developing Justin Fields. They don't want that shit. I know.
The only
I got
other
a
thing is
Chicago fan close to me.
the only other thing is that unlike Shanahan, Nagy is on the hot seat, so he had to do something to be able to save his job. He probably gave himself at least another year by starting Justin Fields. So they'll figure out what they're going to do with him.
That injury to the ginger assassin came at the right time for Nagy because they were going to go in the shitter and he needed a spark. And yes, it's been up and down.
That's true.
But he needed something to try and save his job. And I don't think Justin Fields will save his job for him because I think they're too negative. I don't know. But I will say Niners by 10. I think we continue the way we have continued.
We should. I agree with you.
And
to an extent.
I don't want to hear people going, well, it was only the fucking Jags. It was only the Jags. At the end of the day, you can only beat what's put in front of you week by week.
I got breaking news, Nick. Everybody. I know everybody picked the Chargers against the Steelers. Adam Schefter just tweeted 2 hours ago Ben Roethlisberger was activated to the 53-man roster. He passed his
the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm just saying to you. I'm just letting you know. That's all. He was past it. Okay, past protocols, but he will not fly the team. But he will go on his zone. But he is on track to play the Sunday night.
Yeah,
that's because the team don't want to go with him in case he does something he shouldn't be doing and has to pay someone off. Oops,
it was non-Niner football. I'm sorry. Sorry, I mean to throw everybody off.
No, that's cool. Right, let's get to the final thoughts because the back cave is starting to get cold. I'm not smoking, but you can see my cold breath. It is fucking freezing in this igloo. First of all, I want to say if you're not following and not liking and subscribing, you should do. I am going to be doing a worldwide Niners giveaway with Inspector Dabbit on Twitter. When we reach 1,000 followers, I'm 5 away on Twitter. And when I get to 200 subscribers on YouTube, I will be doing a giveaway with Inspector Dabbit. And it's open worldwide. It's going to cost me a fortune, but I don't care because I want to give something back. I know most of the people that come here are the faithful, and I appreciate you. Sorry if you're not a 49ers fan, and we do go along the 49ers route, but it's my show, it's my team, so fuck it. That's the point. So please like, please subscribe, please follow us on Twitter, and within the next, hopefully, couple of weeks, I will be doing a 49ers Inspector Dabbit giveaway. I've put away the money. I'm going to be sending it over to him. It'll be open worldwide. We'll obviously going to put it out on Twitter when we do it. My final thoughts are, let's keep up the pressure. We are 49ers football. Let's put it down again on paper. Let's not just say, oh, it was only the Jags. Let's just go out there and wax them. Paul, let everyone know where they can follow you on Twitter, what your channel is, what you're doing 49er content-wise. Let everyone know so they can get in on the act.
Just want to say thanks for having me on again, Nick. Fairly new to all this. It's been great to chat with all you guys. I listen to all your shows. I follow you all on Twitter. So as a UK fan, it's invaluable following you guys and getting everything. My Twitter handle is @Paul_Hope10. I'm also on the 49er Faithful UK podcast show, which we put as UK Spin. I just want to say final thoughts, Nick. It's a 6 o'clock game for us this weekend, so no 1 in the morning. And the 49ers are going to win 31-14. And that's what my prediction is.
I like it. Do you know what? I love 6 p.m. games. I can get the cooking out the way. I can have a few drinks. I can sit down at 6 p.m. and not then have to watch some shit show at 6 to wait until 9:25. And that's
the girls
best
can
thing.
watch it. The girls can watch it with me as well. And my little girl's PE teacher's a Denver Broncos fan, and he's fed up with her coming in with a Niners gear on. But last week she rocked it because we won, baby. So
There
hopefully
you go.
that can continue.
There you go. Yeah, definitely. Dion, obviously, let everyone know where they can follow you, what your YouTube is, and what's going on with you, and your final thoughts.
You see the hat right here. That's where I'm at. You see the name, Niner Game Podcast on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at SwiftD, SWIFTDEE. On Instagram, 49er_Dion. I continue to keep putting up content. I'll have a show for the Jaguars versus the 49ers coming real soon. Final thoughts for this game is very simple. Go in there, run the ball, smash mouth football, and if you keep Jimmy to under 20 throws, we win the game. When he's got to start throwing more often than not, we got to be real mindful because he seems to love linebackers, unfortunately, and throwing them the ball is not operative. So we'll win. And I say that I'm going to go with my score from Madden, man. We're going to win 45-7. We go in there and kick some ass. Yeah, we break them off.
Were you playing that, or was that a spectator?
No, I played him twice. So I beat him the first time 45-7. The second time I beat him 28-11. So I'm going to take the big win here. I think we go in there and we punch the Jags right in the fucking mouth. They have no hope. They have no chance. And we just lay the hammer down on them, man. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is going to get real comfortable with the goddamn turf. I think him and that turf or grass, whatever they got, they're going to he's going to be down there. Oh, it's grass?
I think it's grass. I think
I'm going to tell you right now, whatever it is, he's going to be real comfortable down there, man. He might just even take himself a nap. I feel like we going in there and laying the hammer down,
I've said it once and I'll say it again. There's probably a few stadiums I'd like to go and watch a game in, and definitely one of them is Jacksonville, so I can be in that pool with those in the pool, overlooking the thing with the beer and the...
I'm gonna tell you, you need to go to. I'm going. You need to go to SoFi. That stadium is amazing.
Well, I've heard next year the Niners are going to be at the Raiders. And
oh no, we don't know.
Nope.
Niners and Raiders do not play. That's not that the NFL literally stopped it due to the violence, like the actual literal.
No,
people die in the bathrooms when we play each other. We're not having that, bro. We're not fighting. If I go to a Raiders game, I'm fighting.
I am going to Las Vegas to watch the Niners next season.
Well, you better
That's a beautiful stadium too. Allegiant Stadium is nice as well. Just remember,
but I can
the only reason the prices are high.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a rivalry between these two teams. Oh, pardon me. I do apologize.
Yeah, when you're in a fucking chokehold, getting your head punched
in the mouth,
Tell you right now, I'm pissing on somebody's shoes on purpose.
What's that? Kick them in the shins and run away. No. Yeah, if it happens, and I believe they are slated to play the Las Vegas Raiders next year, I honestly can't think of a better place to go and watch a game. Because I don't think, I've been to Vegas. I love Vegas. I've worked in Vegas. I loved it. Worked at the airport. Absolutely loved it. I can't think of a better place. That new stadium on the Strip. Vegas, baby. So I'm saving already. I'm torn between going to a home game or going out to Vegas. I've got to work out what I'm going to do because I need to think things through, which doesn't happen very often with me because I'm like, Vegas, fuck it, I'll go. But we'll see. We'll see. Ryan, let everyone know where they can follow you. What's your new YouTube? Get you with the posh microphone with the mesh over the front. I don't go with the mesh. I can't do the mesh. Gets in the way.
Sir.
I spit everywhere on my microphone because I'm hardcore. Same as John B.
We got the thing there, bro.
What's that?
You don't need a pop. You don't need a pop.
Yeah.
You got the,
It was in the
you
box.
got
I might as
the-
well put it on. It was in the box. So I said, I'll just put it on to make it look pretty, I guess. So, but Paul, Dion, I love your scores. Love them scores. I hope you do that, man. I hope you do. Y'all can follow me on my new YouTube. Let us say it. It's all under cases. Always space faithful 24/7. There you go. I did it right. And then the Twitter handle, of course, is at JMSY168. There you go. So yeah, y'all can follow me on there. You know, do whatever you want to do. Watch some
Those
shows.
sound like the launch codes, man. They sound like launch codes.
Exactly.
I
He's
got
got
you.
his finger on the button just over the other side.
In case you guys are wondering, what they're from, can you take a guess or not? They're two
The
quarterbacks.
kids' birthdays.
No,
Oh,
two quarterbacks.
Okay.
Come on, 80s quarterbacks.
Oh, you're talking about
Montana, Steve
Montana
Young?
and
Yep,
Steve Young.
they're Dion. Yep. Joe Montana and Steve Young. Yep, 16-8.
Who just got an
yeah.
alert? Somebody
That was
just got
me.
an alert.
Sorry.
That was my cellular. That was an emergency alert that the launch codes had just been initiated.
I thought
So,
it was an
guys,
emergency
thankfully,
announcement that
this
the
is
leaves
all of
were-
our last
leaves were
shows,
6
and
foot
it's
deep
been
on
nice
your
to know you
backyard.
when the world has exploded.
Hey man, I'm just trying to do if I could do it. That's all, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
I'm still my bedroom. So I'm still in my bedroom. I just made it to a corner. That's all I did. So doing my
Anyone
best.
Good, man. Hey,
49
gotta start
contract.
somewhere.
Yup.
We love it.
I'm
We
in my
love
front
it.
yard. This is just the green screen.
I got one too. That's actually in the corner.
JV, if you had your green screen up, it should just be autumn leaves going up very, very, very slowly.
It kind of looks like yours,
Higher,
Nick.
higher, higher.
Nick, it kind of looks like yours, Nick, in the back. Your green screen kind of like that. It's wild. It's
I'm
wide.
done with my green screen. It's not working at the moment, and I'm going to rip it down and throw it out in the fucking garden. I've had enough of it. I'll cover the leaves with this fucking thing. JV, let everyone know where they can see you, locker room rant, all that good stuff. Let everyone know, and any final thoughts.
All right, my man. So it's been a pleasure, guys. Dion, always a pleasure, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Paul, Ryan, Nick, thank you. You can find me at John V on Twitter. I rep the Nothing But Niners as much as I can because they've inspired me a lot. Dion as well. D, let me get one of those hats, bro. Send me
I'll get
send me
you
the bill,
I'll
bro.
get
Let
you
me
a
get a hoodie and a hat, homie.
Yeah, my
Can
mom
we
is
get
back
free
in the-
free advertising if you send us over free stuff? We can wear it and promote your brand.
There we go. I'll make sure I get that out.
You can find me at the
Hey,
Locker
Nick,
Room Rant.
I want
on
to shout
YouTube.
out. I want to shout out to Tony for coming on earlier. Tony.
Yeah, Tony, of
Uh-huh.
course. Sorry,
You
JV.
can find me
carry
at the
on.
Locker Room Rant with two of my best friends, a Bills fan, a Browns fan, and a 49ers fan, and we just rant. We go on about the week. We take the picks, covers. We just talk about all football, man. We love football. We talk basketball. We'll talk some soccer. We'll talk. Tony talks golf. Nick talks nonsense. And a little bit of everything in between, man. We have a good time doing it. So, yeah, the Locker Room Rant on YouTube and Twitch.
And I have watched lots of replays of that show, and I do enjoy it because it is quite funny, and there's a very good dynamic going on, which I like.
It is.
Don't forget, everyone, like and subscribe this channel. Get me to 1,000 followers on Twitter. Get me to 200 subscriptions on YouTube, and I will be doing a giveaway, 49ers giveaway with Inspector Dab on Twitter. It's costing me a fortune, but it's worth it because I need to give something back. He's going to do a randomizer, not me, because I'll just pick someone in the UK so it doesn't cost me like $50. I'm not going to lie. No, I'm only joking. Of course, I'm joking. I'm joking. Can I say thank you to Panama Queen, for Tanya, for being in the chat, for Callie earlier. and everyone that has made comments in the chat. I really appreciate it. 49ers faithful, you know where it's at. I'm always going to be repping the faithful. Paul, thank you very much for coming on. Dion, as ever, pleasure. Ryan, gotcha. JV, as ever, a pleasure. We obviously had Ronald McDonald on earlier, a.k.a. Scott. Hopefully he turns his name into Ronald McDonald because he is a fucking clown and he can't help himself. Tony from Nothing But Niners, resident GM. Thank you all for joining. We will be back on Wednesday, usual time, 7:30 UK. I don't know what time that is Eastern, but work it out for yourself. Set your notification buttons. You'll see us all. Everyone out there, stay safe. COVID is still real. Stay safe and enjoy the game. Enjoy your weekend. This is the Shank Club NFL, and we are